I don't roast people, but yeah, I have to know you enough to roast you.
Really? You can't just go off like the fact that it's like, yo, Nihaal, like...
Well, Nihaal, why are you old? Like, seriously,
Look
what's wrong with you?
I know, exactly.
Bro, you do got gray in
I
hairs.
got...
Alright, what you got for me?
And why are your eyes like that today?
I just really love my homies. That's it.
Love to what extent, though?
I think about
To
them before I
kiss
go
them
to
on
sleep.
their lips?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
As long as...
We'll do that today.
As long as
Daniel,
there's no
say
intention.
I'm not doing it, guys.
As long as you don't feel
I'll
attracted
give you
to me
guys
and I don't feel
privacy,
attracted
that's
to
fine.
you.
That's not the point here.
Guys, comment below if you want to see me kiss Daniel.
Everybody, comment down below
I have the
right
final
now.
say in this, guys.
It's like we're trying to make it happen without his consent.
Well,
That's so
that's
Thousand
not,
likes?
that is not okay.
Okay, how about this? 100 likes on this video, and we'll post a video of us kissing.
No, we're not...
For how long? For how long?
For however long he wants.
Okay, I want
say
it for
5
at least a
seconds.
minute.
I'm not doing it!
I said 5 seconds.
What's going on? I'm not doing it. Dude, your feet were in my face,
I'm
bro.
so sorry, dude.
But it's okay. I'm pretty sure I
Because
woke
I need to
up.
lie down. I can't, there's no way.
Liz had knocked out on the end of the
I
couch,
know.
and I'm like, why are my toes warm? And my toes were just
Yeah.
up her sleeve. And, it
You're
was just... and I was like, why the fuck are my toes so warm?
No, you know that meme that you're like, oh, at the sleepover when I forget to give my friends the blankets, everyone had like weird ass blankets.
yeah, literally, everybody had like a weird ass fucking blanket.
Stalkers for stalkers. If we do have stalkers, this
Yeah.
is their dream.
Yo,
podcast.
this is some way.
This is it.
Some stalker could just work their way into being your wife.
Oh my god, exactly.
And just be like the perfect answer to
Oh my
everything.
God, yeah.
And all you know is like when you're sleeping, she'll just have her eyes open at the edge of the bed.
100%, yeah. If MK has a stalker, they know because like I also said her birthday earlier, so.
He wants to hear the weaknesses first,
I
you know?
Fuck, man.
Almost
Who cares
cried.
about your strengths?
On his.
Okay, go.
I care about my strengths. I don't care if you don't care.
Damn. You
Um,
criticized me, and now I'm gonna kill myself.
Well, I took the knife away, so we're fine.
It's okay, I guess
You have to get creative with that. I don't know if you can be.
And welcome back to Across the Street Podcast with your hosts, Nihaal
And Daniel, what's up, guys?
And we got our special guest star today,
MK!
MK. Hey. MK, hey. Let's
MK.
go.
Hey.
Alright, awkward already. Nice.
Yeah. Well, it's only awkward,
awkward.
if
I'm
you're
awkward.
awkward. Yeah.
I'm always awkward around.
Why?
I don't know.
Why though?
Why?
Yeah, explain that, please.
Okay, we'll get into that later in the episode.
Alright, bet. And we have a live studio audience today.
Yeah.
You'll see who it is later when we get the call out for this person. So
if you hear chuckles or laughs in the
they
background,
are dying in the background. It is
Yeah.
absolutely hilarious.
I'm trying to hold it in, but
They are the life. They are the life of our show today. So
exactly.
yeah. So MK, how do you feel about joining us for this podcast today?
Well, I've been part of the audience for one of the other episodes for the season, which was
What were your
one
thoughts
of
on
the,
that?
Oh, amazing. I recommend everyone to go watch that first and then come back to it later. Because
yeah?
that was the spiciest of all the episodes that I've watched so far.
I think it was actually just in general the spiciest episode we've like.
There is a lot of arguments. There's a lot of people
was
bashing
great.
each other. I've had a couple DMs from some people pretty mad at me for the take that I took.
Okay,
Yeah.
but you stand by your take,
I
right?
stand by my
Okay,
take,
as
yeah.
long as you stand by your take, they can say whatever they fuck they want.
Exactly.
You heard me.
Facts.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was pretty. Like honestly, like you were asking really good questions too, though.
Yeah, I was in the background. Yeah, definitely.
Also, if you guys didn't notice, we don't have a four-eyed friend today.
Wow, you're. Okay, I'm wearing contacts.
He's wearing
Yes,
contacts,
yes.
So he looks very different today.
Thank you for
So
noticing.
you look very nice. I like it.
Thank you.
Notice a little beard going on. It's getting more solid.
It's getting more solid.
I'm growing
Yeah.
my hair too. Season 2 is like
You know what they say about fast-growing hair, right? You know where it comes from? You don't know?
down there.
No.
Oh,
Don't
wow.
worry about it.
No, what is it? I don't know. Where does it come from?
Don't worry about it. You can Google that later.
And that was a good guess, though.
Yeah, it actually was a good guess. It's
Okay.
related, but yeah. All right. Well, MK, since I feel like to go on backstory, we met you through our friend Liz.
Yes.
What's it called? And you and Nihaal, we'll go further into this a little later, but you and Nihaal have like know each other a little bit before I knew you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which is really interesting. I can't wait to get into that. It's gonna be so much fun. But what were your first impressions of like meeting us?
Well, that's...
You obviously have more of, like, just to cut you off, you have more of an impression of him than you do me, but...
Yeah. Well, it was, of course, different impression of him for the first time ever. But then when I met the entire friend group, which I did at the cottage, which we went recently, I found that it was quite great. Like, you know, everybody was super social, super interactive with each other. And then I found it great. Like, it just happened so quickly that we all became good friends. And now I'm at the podcast as a guest. Amazing.
Would you ever thought that you were going to do it? Or
No, I actually never thought that I would be in the podcast as a guest. I thought would be as an audience, or also would be throwing like questions here and there, but just never as a guest. So
honestly, we kind of asked you on a whim too, and we were just like...
I know. I wasn't ready for it. So I was like, now today I felt like, okay, I was ready, and then I'm here. And also, thank you for inviting me.
Of course.
Thank you.
I feel like one of the reasons I wanted to ask you was because... You have a lot of questions, and you provide a lot of insight, but just by questions alone, which I think is a really good take.
Yeah.
Plus, you know how to like converse with all of us too, even when sometimes we all like to get into it with each other. I feel like you're a good like, what's the word? Like a foil for that, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay, I'll take that. Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, to break the ice, we do have a few quick questions for you. You don't have to answer in depth.
Sure.
They're more like one answer, and then maybe we can come back to it in a bit at the end as well.
Yeah.
So we've kind of done this for the podcast. This is our second time now doing it. We wanted to do it for the first episode, but honestly, the environment didn't really call for it yet. And plus, with having a returning guest, it was kind of a little easier rather than needing to break the ice. But yeah, so we'll ask these questions. Hopefully you have an answer, and let's do it.
Some interesting questions, so be prepared. Yeah. And be honest.
Be honest.
Of course, I will be.
I feel
all right. First question.
Yeah.
What is the dumbest intrusive thought you've acted on?
Dumbest intrusive thought I've acted on?
Yeah.
For me, it's the dumbest. Texting a guy that I liked.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I'm usually never upfront about a guy that I like. I take it very slow, but that's one thing I did once.
Okay.
Really early on in the day.
I feel like I don't think that's dumb.
Well, for me, it was because I'm a bit conservative, so I don't necessarily go with those kind of things.
Right.
So when I did that, I was like, oh my god, shoot, I was dumb enough. Never doing that ever again. So yeah.
I've been there. I feel you on that.
Did you say I love you right away? Is that what happened?
No, I just kind of expressed that I liked him. And then he was like, oh, okay. And then he started acting weird and like, you know, being too proud. And I was like, okay, go away.
Yeah. Can I add on to that? This is another quick question. This isn't part of the set. But out of the two of us, who do you think is more likely to say I love you too quickly?
Maybe you.
You think me?
Really?
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just knew you that way, and then maybe some of the things that I actually knew at the cottage kind of made me think that way. Because I don't know that enough.
Fair enough.
I would say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My judgment might be wrong because I don't know that enough.
Okay.
But also Nihaal seems a bit too.
Too. No. You can't just say too. Too what?
Yeah, indecisive sometimes. Yeah.
Ooh.
I want that.
Ooh,
not in a bad
take.
way
Sure.
though.
No, that's true. I'm indecisive because of my past experiences, but I have once upon a time said I love you within a week.
Within a week?
Bad.
Yeah.
That's within a week of relationship or like
a relationship.
That's not bad. That's fine.
Oh, it takes me forever to say it. I'll tell you that.
Calculated. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Understood. All right. Next question. What is a general bad take that you have that you'll die standing on?
Bad take about what?
Like in general, I feel like a bad take that I have that a lot of people generally say is I will die standing on the hill that ketchup is the most disgusting thing in the world.
Oh, okay.
And I'm willing to die on that.
Okay.
So what's something that you think would be a generally bad take that you're willing to die standing for?
Bad take? I gotta think about it. Oh, yeah, I do have one.
Okay, let's hear it.
That Diet Coke? Actually, not Diet Coke. Sorry, never mind. What is it called?
Coke.
Fanta. Tastes like piss. Yeah, it does.
All my Indian viewers out there, I'm sorry, man. I know you
I
guys
think
love your Fanta.
No,
he
pissed off European people too as well. Fanta's huge
That's
in
it.
Europe.
No, I don't like
That's
it.
crazy.
I don't like it, but I drink it though. So that's another weird thing.
So, are you sadistic? Like, are you masochistic then? Like,
No. It's not like that. It's more of like, you know, if I have no other choice, I'll drink it. But then if I have other choice, I'll
you won't go out of your way to drink it.
Exactly.
Got it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Is it just Fanta that you've tried here, or you Fanta you've tried in general?
In general. In general.
Interesting.
It tastes like piss.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, that one caught me out guard. I won't lie.
So saying that you're my fantasy doesn't.
Doesn't work.
I'm messing around. I'm messing around.
All right, next question. Next fucking question.
I'm not gonna answer that.
Are you a fighter or a lover?
I'm a fighter.
You're a fighter?
I am a fighter.
I don't know. I feel like you're a lover. I was about to say this at the beginning of the podcast.
I feel like you're projecting by saying that.
No. Their audience is laughing right now. No, like she literally, like she was very calming and the mediator at the cottage.
Oh.
So that's how I saw it.
Mediator for
Yeah,
who?
you were like a mediator. No, like everything.
Were you talking about the last night?
Everything when anything was going wrong or everything was confusing or whatever. I'm just like, what is going on? Why is this happening? This, that, and then she just kind of like understands the situation and calms everything down. She's not like she doesn't pick a side and fight.
Oh,
you know?
you okay? I kind of get what you're saying. That makes sense because I feel like fighter in this sense would mean like you're feisty, so you like to pick fights even with just questions or something like that.
I pick fights. Remember the question that I asked about the what Eddie got pissed off on?
Oh.
Well, I feel like
I did that purely just to start a fight. Eddie, dude, I'm straight. I promise you.
Actually, I was joining Eddie in those fights.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh yeah, both of you guys.
Yeah, both of us were against you.
I will say I can kind of see that you're a fighter, just because I feel like your questions sometimes can pick a fight.
Yeah, true.
I can see it like that.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I don't even think sometimes you mean to pick a fight, but it can pick a fight.
Well, yeah, I kind of pose it that way. I'm like, okay, yeah, come get me. Yeah, tell me.
Straightforward,
okay, interesting. All right, that was a great answer. Actually, I really like that one.
I really like this audience member over here. She's really giving us some life out here.
Yeah, some good energy here. Even not even saying anything is just
not even saying it. We don't even know
expressions.
It's just a random girl in my room.
Expressions.
Random girl in your room.
I know.
Crazy.
Every day.
Yeah.
Different one.
Wow.
I'm clipping that and sending it to your parents.
It's okay.
Okay. What's one skill/job you naively think you could do like easily with little to no practice?
Talking to people.
That's not a job.
Well,
it could be.
Well, it can be. Like, I don't necessarily need to prepare to talk to anybody. When I say I can start talking to anybody, I can. But that depends on my mood, definitely.
Oh, okay.
So if I'm thinking like, okay, I would initiate the conversation, I will keep it going. I'll keep it going. If I shut down, that's it. Okay. It's done. If the other person is no longer doing it on their end.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, because I wanted like the approach I had to this question was like, I think within like 3 hours I could definitely fly a plane.
Oh.
And I think I'd be fine. So that's kind of like the thing I was aiming at for.
Oh yeah, just like one button. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like dude, honestly, you just pull the thing and then you just pull up and then you're just in the air.
But then how are you gonna land?
How are you gonna land?
Yo, I'll
pull it back
down. There's the other thing where you pull it down. There's the thing you pull the thing down and the landing gear comes out and then you just slowly get on there and you're good.
For me, I think it's gonna be life coach. I feel like I could just say whatever, and then you'll believe it because you paid $100.
So professional gaslighting is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Got it. Got it.
That's exactly.
Professional gaslighting.
Got it.
Okay.
I love it when you see life coaches that are like younger than me, or even like my age. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Like what life have you lived?
Yeah,
like
exactly. I'm different from when I was MK's age. You know, like wait, are you much younger than me? You're 2 years younger than me, right?
How old are you?
I'm a 98 kid.
98?
Year 2000, right? Or like 99.
99.
99.
Tip of 99.
Tip of 99, yeah.
Yes. 31st of December.
Hey, you didn't have to say that out loud.
Yeah.
But okay.
And what's your credit card number and SIN?
4 5.
What's the pin on your credit card that's in my pocket right now? Okay, that was it. Honestly, I like that answer to that question. Let's see, next one. Yeah. Oh, this is a little bit of a raunchy one. Being a conservative person, I don't know if you'll be able to answer this.
Okay.
Would you rather have a feet OnlyFans or a conventional OnlyFans?
What is a conventional OnlyFans?
Do you know what an OnlyFans is?
I do, but to some extent. To some extent.
So it's like, it's paid porn.
Oh no! I would.
Would you rather sell your feet or sell your?
Nothing. I would not be there. Yeah.
All right, I don't think we're gonna get a better answer.
Feet or hands? I'd probably go.
No, feet or regular OnlyFans.
Oh, regular. What the heck?
Regular.
I love attention.
Okay.
I think that?
I do it.
Ooh.
So my feet have
What
been...
about you?
My feet have been vouched for, so I think feet. Yeah.
Interesting.
Our audience can vouch. There we go. That's. All right. If you could change an event in your life, which one would you change?
An event in my life.
Yes. Could be the smallest event that could lead to a chain reaction. Could be a big event in your life.
I don't think I would change anything major though, because that actually had made me where I am today. So I was gonna say something, but I won't say it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I were to change one event, that is coming here earlier rather than later.
Ooh.
Because I felt like that gave me a lot of independence, which I was seeking when I was younger, and I didn't have it when I was back home. Yeah.
Okay.
So I would change it and then have more independence and more connections.
Follow-up question to that. Do you think that did you know you were seeking that independence? Like, did you have that self-awareness to really know that, or?
Yeah. I was always being that person who would, like, want things in their own way. Well, when I was back home with my parents, I did have that independence, but it's just to some extent, and it's different. Like, the culture is different, like, the surroundings are different. You don't get as much independence as you get here. Like, I'm here right now. I don't necessarily have to call my parents and be like, oh, okay, I'm coming home around that time.
Yeah, that's fair.
But there, I would always have that. And I just wanted to have, like, my own space, my own community, something that I would build myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I would want to change that one thing.
Yeah.
Coming here, when did it come here? 4 years ago? I would try to make it, like, 6 years ago. How's that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, 2 years more. Before, actually. Yeah. I would be way younger, though. I don't know if I would make that decision pretty nice, but yeah, I would still want to try that.
I mean, there are the benefits of, like, coming here earlier, too, right?
True.
But also, it could be, like, you might be at a stage in your life, too, that might be, you were maybe prepared for it. I'm not saying you are or not, but, like, maybe there's a chance that there's less preparation into that as a person.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the thrill that gets you into it.
Yeah.
You don't know anything. You just, like, go into it, and you're like, oh, damn, this is great.
Yeah.
This is great. Well, it's been adventurous, definitely. So many ups and downs. But if I were to look at it from a point of view of the whole thing, loved it. Loved the experience, loved the idea. And yeah, I would not change it for anything.
Well, we are also glad you made that decision to come here.
Yay! I met all of you people. Yeah, that's great.
We didn't even give a background on when you came here. If you're, I mean, your accent's not even that strong, so we can't even tell that. I wouldn't tell that you came here recently. So, I mean, there definitely is an accent, but like very, very.
First impression wise, if I were to look back, and I would have thought you came here like 10
years ago.
12 years ago, yeah.
No way.
Yeah, just off like your conversation alone.
Okay.
Even her singing, she could sing really well.
Yes.
You got to sing for us after, okay? At the end.
I'll try.
Okay.
I'll try. I need a microphone.
Not
that. Like, I need background music and all.
Well, how about you have to keep close to this, and we'll just give you a microphone that's not plugged in.
Okay.
Okay, sure.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do the vibe.
Bets. All right.
Yeah.
What is your favorite kids cartoon?
Kids cartoon? There's so many.
What? You gotta pick one.
Kids cartoon. Okay, I don't want to go by the classics.
You can.
Okay. So there's a couple. Powerpuff Girls.
Solid.
Yeah, I love it.
Solid.
Blossom was my favorite. Bubbles, never. Buttercup was my favorite too.
Buttercup's the green one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Buttercup
Oh
so
my
much.
god, she's such my vibe. Like, so my vibe. Blossom, I loved her as well. So that's one.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one I watched growing up that was Baby Looney Tunes. I don't know if that matters.
Well,
Baby Looney Tunes is solid, yeah.
Such a vague memory.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that the one where at the end too they would like pop through like the credit thing at the end?
Oh, yeah.
Like it'd be like the Warner Brothers sign at the end and one of them would just burst through it or something like that, or burst through the Looney
I
Tunes
do
sign.
not remember that. I do not. I only remember like the characters of it,
Right.
but I just don't remember that part that you're mentioning.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, it's actually later in life. It's probably Phineas and Ferb. This is like grade 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Okay.
That's later.
Very
yeah.
creative. I used to look forward to
I've
it.
never watched a single episode of Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was huge into that. But it was later in our life. That's why I was like grade 5, 6.
Yeah. No, it's
But
just for
if
me.
it's younger, it's Dexter. It's Laboratory Dexter.
Yo,
Dexter,
did you
yeah.
guys ever play the online game of Dexter's Laboratory?
I can't remember. Probably did.
It was so much fun.
I actually have the Funky Pop right there. I don't know if you see Dexter.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you
Yeah. I saw that. I'm like, yeah, I need a cop.
do.
It was at Candace Computer, so it's such a random store to be in, but I just took it.
That's cool. That's cool.
Okay, next question. Would you rather have 1 kid or 6 kids?
Oh, one.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
not 6.
You want to make a whole volleyball team of kids?
No.
Okay.
Oh, that's your approach
I'm only
to it.
going for 2 kids. That's my preference. But yeah,
Okay.
if I have to choose between 1 or 6, definitely 1.
Okay. Because the thought process behind that question is like, would you rather have like an only child who kind of grows up without knowing siblings, or like having a whole family full,
Well, in that case, we should have more options. Like, why not 2 kids?
The question only has 2 options, unfortunately. So.
Okay, no, not 6 kids. I would rather have, like, my kid to grow up with my sister's kids and all that.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to have that many kids because I want to have my independence still.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to be all surrounded by my kids and, like, not have time for myself. And then I'll be like, oh, okay, now I'm old. What am I going to do? No.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my kid will grow up. I'll be the young mommy. And then why not?
There's still time to be the young mom.
Yeah.
So don't even worry
I know.
about that.
I'm not there yet.
Okay. Give each one of us a roast. Like, roast one of us for something. Or both of us for one thing.
Oh, no. I don't want to roast you
Do it,
guys.
Just do it.
That's it.
Just do it. We can take it.
Oh, no. That's going to be personal. Can we do it behind the camera, though?
No, just do it. You can roast us for whatever you want. And if anything...
If it crosses the line, I'm going to trim it up.
Yeah. You mean I'm going to trim it
Yeah,
up?
you're going to trim it up. I'm going to hold you by gunpoint. Yo, trim the fucking shit.
Why are you sticking in my ear, bro?
Because I like your ear. I like sticking it in your holes.
Pause.
Hey, guys,
Okay.
I don't know you enough to roast,
You don't
She
even...
can roast you better, I would say.
Okay, roast.
Alright,
Yeah, go ahead.
so... Now, is it time for a tap-in?
Okay, tap in.
Alright,
Roast it.
we're tapping our audience in, and to reveal, our audience is Elizabeth, our most prolific guest.
Hi.
Come through. Tap in.
Should I come into the frame?
Yeah.
If you want.
Tap out. Tap whoever.
I don't
No,
want to
just-
tap in
okay.
or out. Can I just have my voice?
Okay. Fine.
Yeah. We need you on the mic though, so
That's
Can I
fine.
pass it?
Okay, let me just.
Just come.
just come through. We'll cut this part
Just
out.
come.
There we go.
This is my nightmare. Oh my god.
I feel like it's such a cop-out to get me to roast you guys because I'm just the audience member. Why can't you just roast them? You don't have to.
Yeah,
know
you don't
that.
even have to go like hard on it. So you
I
can be
feel
like,
like
you can be like,
my
Nihal, your hairline sucks, or like,
Yeah!
Daniel, your forehead's so
Honestly,
big you can light
Daniel,
it.
you and me are on a wave, my guy, because the first thing I thought about was your hairline.
I roast my own hairline, but because my friends roasted it first.
Nah, I don't roast people, but yeah, I have to know you enough to roast you.
Really,
That's
you
the
can't
thing.
just go off like the fact that it's like, yo, Nihal, like.
Well, Nihal, why are you old? Like, seriously,
With my
what's
gray
wrong with
hair.
you?
I know
Bro,
exactly.
you do got gray
I
hairs.
got.
All right,
Very,
what you got for
that's
me?
a good one.
And why are your eyes like that today?
Wait a minute. Alright, I'm done. Get this mic. No, joking.
See, you guys
No, I'm playing. That was a good one. Why are my eyes like, I'm sorry, I'm born Asian?
That's so. That's so.
That was great. That was
I haven't
perfect.
laughed like that in a while.
I think that was a better job than what Liz could have done, but Liz would have roasted us more personally.
Why are your eyes like that? It's because, no, I thought it was because of context.
No, it's why your eyes like that
Oh.
today.
Today.
Now I'm self-conscious. Now I gotta open my eyes wider. Jesus.
My jaw hurts.
Your eyes are not even that small, dude.
No, it's not about
Now,
the
but
small.
now it's the kind of, I'm a little
I swear
self-conscious.
they're like,
Hey, mine are actually smaller than yours.
Exactly.
You see that?
I can't see my own eyes right now, so.
But you can tell my eyes are smaller. It's hooded eyes. You can see only.
Oh, you have the
Yeah,
the
you can't see
double
my
lids,
lid.
right?
You can't see my lid.
You have double eyelids, no?
No, you
double
can't even
eye-
see
shit,
my
fucking
eyelids.
crocodile. What's wrong with you?
Like the
Double
folded ones,
eyelids.
like the ones where it's folded, right?
Folded to what?
Like you have the, I don't know how to describe it, but
You should put on your glasses because you can't see. Can you?
yeah, I can. I have contacts in.
Oh, okay, then
Yeah.
great. Yeah, because
Great.
you can't see my eyelids. Like when I open my eyes, it's gone.
I can see your eyelids.
Can you? She's just
You put it.
Yeah, that's what I mean, like hooded eyes.
hooded
yeah.
eyes. Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
You can definitely see my eyes. I have huge eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we weren't talking about you.
I know.
Joke.
What's that
In the car? I'm a narcissist?
Yeah, I know. No,
I know.
Bro, I'm just.
I know.
You're good.
I'm
You're
just
good.
showing you. I'm just showing you. It's all about me, guys.
It's always about you.
Always.
isn't it?
That's why he does the intro, because he says his
Exactly.
name first.
Yeah, we're changing your fucking name to Nihal's podcast, bro.
No, we're not.
No more across
No, we're
the
not.
street.
Well, we're not changing because I'm the one who uploads and edits, so he can control it.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Should I ask this last question?
Yeah, it's
It's number 6.
Yeah, do it.
You think so?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So the last question. Between the two of us, who's more your type?
Oh, who's more my type?
Who's more your type?
Okay.
Hold on, we need to
Answer honestly. Answer honestly. I don't want to see no. Oh
Let me
no,
take a
Daniel. Because like You know? I don't know.
Just
If it's not me,
Okay, I would answer honestly. That would
Yeah.
be Daniel.
really.
Yeah.
What,
Sorry to break your heart, though.
No, okay. But
for the
like,
second time.
Yeah, this is the second time in a row. What would make that so?
I feel like our conversations kind of flow a bit differently than our conversations would.
Right.
And then I do like to have that kind of conversation. I want our conversations to flow, not just me to be always talking.
Mhm.
I want to listen too, and
Okay.
I want insights too.
Also more of a
Genuinely
back and
interested.
forth.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's somebody being genuinely interested, not just somebody asking me questions just because they want to ask.
Hey! Okay, you see what you do?
I do pick fights, but differently.
She is a fighter.
That's why you
That
kept
should be
it
in the
there.
promo.
That was so
That should
fun,
be
bro.
you. That's why you kept it there. Oh my.
Okay.
Now,
So
what do you guys think I was about to do? Slice him or slice myself? Probably myself.
No, me then you.
Okay.
So you
Yeah,
take
you
me out
just
with you.
brought it.
So last episode. On the last episode of Across the Street. Yeah, but that concludes all the questions though. Very
That's
well done for
amazing.
answering. Good
Yay.
job.
Thank you.
That's the most fun we had in the questions. Huh?
Yeah, very, very insightful.
Mhm.
You kept it pretty quick, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Nihaal, would you like to introduce our topic for today? Do you even know what we're talking about today?
To be honest, I had a very long day at work today, and I picked these guys up pretty late, so I have no idea what we're talking about today.
Okay, so I guess then I'll take care of
Yeah.
it. Today we are actually going to be analyzing each other's MBTIs. So what an MBTI is the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. I think I said that right.
Would have never guessed that.
Yeah, so Myers-Briggs, there are two, I think, either psychologists or like two people who did that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But they did it based off somebody else's studies, and they made this kind of quiz or test together to help you kind of analyze your personality, the type of person that you are based off a few like different, what is it? I don't know what they're called, but they're traits.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of this test, you usually are classified with out of 8 traits, 4 of them. So like one or the other for 4 different sets of things. And we all did the test earlier today. We all kind of have our stuff figured out, and we're going to be seeing what the results are and seeing if we all think that it's pretty accurate. And we're going to be reading in depth. So everybody has it on their phone. It'll be very interesting to see. Who do you want to go first?
Why are you looking at me?
I think mine's the easiest to guess. So let's do yours.
No, but I feel like if yours is the easiest, I think I want to
Okay.
see yours. I'm very curious about yours.
Okay.
Do you want me to read it or do you want to
Let
take
me read it.
Go for it.
So I'm supposed to read this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And let me know if you...
So I'm sure that majority of us have done this test in during the pandemic, or I hate using that word because we might get censored out, but or high school or college, or when you have a crazy girlfriend and they're like, oh my god, I want to see your personality type, and then you might have done it too, which all 3 I've done. So this is the 4th time I'm doing this test, and I'm pretty sure I get a different one each time because I feel like I've changed a lot over the years, especially this past year. I've changed a lot, and I've changed a lot to this personality type, which is the Consul. I think that's how you pronounce it. CONSUL, and the letters are ESFJ-T. So consuls are very caring. Am I supposed to read everything?
Yeah,
You
just
want me
read
to
it, for sure.
Consuls are very caring. You see, I care. MK.
You are
okay.
very,
I'm just
very.
making sure.
No.
Sure.
I'm
Okay.
supporting you on
Okay,
that.
thank you.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like you chose Daniel over me. So, okay.
Ooh.
All right. Just
That
wanna let
got
you
heated
know. Social, community-minded people who are always eager to help. See, I got the Band-Aid for MK, but he's the one that put it on, so you're very, very eager to help.
Exactly.
I just got the Band-Aid.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm social. I'm pretty sure I'm social.
You're
are.
more than social, bro.
You are.
Okay, I think I talked to quite a few people. And community-minded, yeah. I definitely like forming communities and friend groups. Guess what? How much percent extroverted am I? I already told you guys in the car.
Bro, you're probably before you said that, I had a feeling you're gonna be high 90s of extrovert.
So I'm 92% extroverted.
Can I interrupt you for that? So in Nihaal's thing, it was what was it? ESFJ. So that's the E. So E, it's usually determined between E and I. So you're extroverted or introverted. And one of our friends, what's it called? Actually, Liz actually had a point in saying that it's not necessarily defined by like, oh, if you like to go out or like to go in, but it's your social boundaries, which I think is a really accurate point to say, is like, how much of a social boundary do you draw that determines whether you're extrovert or introvert? If you don't have a lot of social boundaries, if you're more open, if you're more free-flowing with it, it's more to the extroverted side. If you do drop really high social boundaries, no matter how many people you talk to, and you still need to recharge your social battery, or you don't like there's times where you really cut yourself off, that goes to more the introverted side. So yeah, what's your percentage?
You're right. Yeah, I'm 92% extroverted. So extroverted individuals readily enjoy group activities and value social interaction. They tend to be outwardly enthusiastic and express their excitement. Yeah,
100%.
My week, if introverted people hear it, it's a nightmare for them, because even tomorrow I'm going to 3 different events, morning, afternoon, and evening. I have 3 different events, but my extrovertedness has been too extroverted recently, and I haven't been really spending time with my family too much, which I've noticed. Which, I mean, my parents are extroverts too, so like growing up, I guess.
I feel like there's less pressure than there, would you say?
Yeah. Okay, so just one quick story. I tell this to a lot of people who discover that I'm an extrovert. I feed off energy off of extroverted stuff. So even today, like, I had low energy to start the day. I don't know if you guys noticed in the car and stuff, but you know, once I surround myself with you guys, I'm turning back into my current self. And my most infamous story, I probably told this to Daniel a couple times, and maybe in the podcast, but I actually went to a party and slept at the party, and I'd rather sleep at a party than sleep at home alone. So yeah, I remember waking up from that party and I was like, yo, you were knocked for like 2 hours. I'm like, yeah. And then after that, I just chilled, and I was so happy that day. But to be fair, that was a comfy ass couch. It's my friend that was pretty rich. Shout out Yulia. And yeah, that couch.
Oh, that was that party.
That couch was crack. Like, I'm telling you, like, it was like I've never slept like yeah. But to be fair, I also had a tournament that day too, so I was like really tired. Yeah.
But the fact that you can go to a party and that's your method of recharge.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Crazy to me.
And I just talk to people. Meeting new people is my recharge. Even at the cottage, I didn't know like a lot of people. I didn't know Eddie. I didn't know some other people there. But by the end of cottage, everyone knew me. I knew them. You know.
Yeah.
But do you ever feel like you're exhausted just by like having all that social energy spreading out every time?
I mean, I have my crushes, but not as often as other people do.
So what do you do when you're like that?
I build Lego. Hey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lego puzzles. Clean up my room. So clearly it hasn't been clean in a while. So
I will say your social cleanse. I think you can socially like when I mean by social cleanse, it's like you need to clear yourself of like just social interaction. It's like you recharge in like 1/10 of the time I do.
Oh yeah, within a day, within half
crazy.
a day.
Yeah.
Within half a day.
I cannot imagine. Cannot.
Probably within a couple, just one evening, because technically every evening from today till probably my birthday is booked up. So it's just like,
damn.
I'm like, I always have something. So even today, like technically it was booked up. I had to cancel plans to come. You know, so
you come to your own house. Yes, got it.
I mean,
understood.
to chill with you guys. But yeah, so yeah, it's just I love keeping myself busy.
Yeah.
And I love surrounding myself with like different people all the time too. It's just who I am. I don't know. But I wasn't always like this. Okay. Observant. Okay, that's the only one that I want to talk about. If I talk about every single one, it's going to take too long. Mm-hmm. But I'll quickly go around these ones. Energy, I'm 52% observant over 48% intuitive. Nature, I'm a feeler. I like touching.
Ew.
I think.
Ew.
I think that's what it means.
You know what? It makes sense. It makes sense. It actually makes sense. That hand to the ear thing makes a lot of sense now.
Feeling individuals, emotional expression, and sensitivity. They place a lot of importance on empathy, social harmony, and cooperation. I'm a very empathetic person. Whenever I hear anything that happens to my friends, or you know, if my friend gets injured in blah blah or something, I think about it for the entire week. Like I'm just too empathetic.
Aww. Not
just them, but like their family members and their jobs, etc.
So
judging. This is not even that interesting.
I mean, I think that's actually pretty interesting.
Okay, I'm 74% judging over 26% prospering.
And what does that kind of like say? Like, what does that mean here?
I don't know. When I see MK, I just judge
her
because she picked Daniel over me. That's crazy. So
I'm actually gonna read this for here. Then the judging individuals are decisive, thorough, and highly organized. Makes sense. They value clarity, predictability, and closure, preferring structure and planning to spontaneity.
Oh yeah,
that's actually makes a lot of sense for you.
Yeah, there's been like 3 questions where it's just like, do you plan for worst case scenarios? Hell yeah, I do. I don't know if have you ever come on a tournament day with me?
Yeah, I have.
Like in the morning?
For one of the days, yeah.
I barely remember this. But in the mornings of volleyball tournaments, I plan for the worst case scenarios. I literally... The school's like, yes, I'll provide you 3 nets. I'll provide you all this, that. I still get another 3 nets in my car. I think one time Liz came to my car and was like, yeah, this guy's a volleyball guy. Because I had like 3 nets in my car. I had whole ass volleyball poles in my car and everything. Because I just don't trust anybody. You know, like worst case scenarios. Like, you never know. I might have to bring my own stuff. So, yeah, I always carry it. Water bottles, everything.
I think what I also think about for that is like, you always, when it comes to organizing things, or even just when you're organizing a league, you're always trying to figure out, like, you want the predictability. Like, you don't like things that, like, surprises, or like, for example, a team dropping out, or like a team that hasn't paid. You want that kind of consistency there, so you don't need to. Yeah. And that does make sense for what you do and who you are as a person.
Yeah. Identity, turbulent individuals are self-conscious and sensitive to stress. So literally what you just said. So anything that stressful goes on, I'm just like, fuck.
I've seen you go on episodes where
legit. I just go straight to this. I don't do it, guys. Don't do this.
Don't do it. But I've seen you go moments where, like, when I can tell you're stressing about something is when you go really quiet.
Oh my god, the perfect time when I got the speed ticket in New Brunswick.
Yeah,
the entire night.
The entire night you're stressing about it.
For Prince Edward Island, I didn't even talk to anybody.
Yeah,
I was just like okay.
for a good time of like, even till we are having dinner, you're just really quiet about it.
You stress too much. You even mentioned
that
to me once.
That's why I have gray hairs, yeah.
Oh, makes sense now. Why you're old.
Yeah. Why you picked Daniel over me? I need to know that.
Oh yeah, true that.
So
That's another point.
Are you stressing over that right now?
Are you crying inside? Tell me honestly.
It's my narcissistic side coming out. Like, why not choosing me, right? So it's just like, choose me, pick me.
Pick me, choose me.
Please.
Meredith Grey. Nobody watched that. Grey's Anatomy. She says that.
Oh, she says that?
Yeah.
Oh,
pick me, choose me, love me, all that.
Kind of white. No, I'm joking.
So that's how you learn English.
What do you
No, it's friends. It's friends.
It's friends.
Every person I know whose English was in their first language, but they'd speak it so well, learned it off friends. Like we have our other friend from where we used to work. Like Bruno, he literally says his main thing for learning English was Friends.
Oh, interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
It didn't happen for me though. I watched Friends when I was back home.
But
I wasn't speaking English back home.
You were a baby.
Well, I was.
Alright, so did you guys think that...
I actually think yours is actually pretty accurate. I think later we want to go into the in-depth part where it shows like your strengths and weaknesses and all that. I think that would actually be really interesting. I might get that off your phone after.
Yeah, I think I have to check my email because I didn't screenshot that.
That's okay. We'll go back into that for sure.
My weakness is Daniel. Every time I see you, I crumble.
Maybe we should get that deer done.
Yeah.
The one that
Pause.
we had.
Pause. No, we're not doing that. We're not. I promise you.
What is the dare?
I dared you guys to make out at the cottage.
No,
remember?
You guys did.
I did.
Why didn't I do it?
Because I wouldn't let you. What?
He just went back into the washroom.
Oh.
Remember?
Yeah.
I don't remember this. If I remembered, I would have definitely done it.
I was like.
I would have literally told Eddie and Kingsley to hold your hands. And
No.
like,
I remember. I said the washroom. Kings is like, yo, you're better off going back into the washroom. Like.
You have assaulted Daniel.
No, I promise you, I would not have allowed
if
that.
you hadn't gone back into the washroom.
Alexa, why is Daniel so fucking beautiful?
I don't know that.
Fuck, man. She doesn't see me. She doesn't see you the way that I do.
That's crazy. Okay, I have mine pulled up as well. Alright, so my thing is I'm known as the virtuoso, so I am an ISTP-T. So what that means is for introverted versus extroverted, I'm 62% introverted. So
You're 62% introverted?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, man.
I don't know about that one. You're pretty extroverted at my parties.
But I feel like that's because I was in a comfort zone of like knowing some of the people, right? So, plus I don't know. I just feel I feel like as long as I'm within a comfort zone of people that I know, it's easier for me. That's why I'm not like 90% introverted or 80% introverted, right? Let's see here. Do I pull that?
Oh my god! At the Queen concert that I went to, Queen rendition concert, I made friends left and right. I was just talking to random people, and they're all like over 70.
Are you friends with them now?
No, not friends, but you know.
Okay.
They saw my socks, they saw my shirt, they're like, oh my god, you love Queen? I'm like, yeah, I love Queen. I was debating on shaving my beard and just having a mustache so I could look like Queen. Well,
do that. Maybe do that
I'm doing
now.
it in November. I did it last year. November, yeah. And
We
October.
should see you in that look. I don't know. I've never seen
You
you
never?
in that.
Okay,
No.
yeah. It's like I just have a little chin fat right now, so I just need to work out a bit, and then after that, once my jawline comes back in, I'll shave it again. You don't like the mustache look?
That is literally gay. That's why he shaved his face like that, Freddie Mercury.
It's okay. I'm straight though. But I look good.
I mean, as long as one of us knows, I guess.
Are you? I'm still questioning, you know?
I am. Stop.
It's so funny. Sorry, give me 1 sec here.
Yeah, sure.
Jesus.
I just really love my homies. That's it.
Love to what extent, though?
I think about
To
them before
kiss
I go
them
to
on
sleep.
their lips?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
As long as
We'll do that today.
as long as
Daniel,
there's no
say
intention.
what?
I'm not doing it, guys.
As long as you don't feel
I'll
attracted
give you
to me
guys
and I don't feel
privacy,
attracted
that's
to
fine.
you.
That's not the point here.
Guys, comment below if you want to see me kiss Daniel.
Everybody comment down
I
below
have the
right
final
now.
say in this, guys.
So if we're trying to make it happen without his consent.
Oh,
that's so
that's
1,000
not,
likes?
that is not okay.
Okay, how about this? 100 likes on this video, and we'll post a video of us kissing.
No, we're not.
For how long? For how long?
For however long he wants.
Okay, I want
say
it for
5
at least a
seconds.
minute.
I'm not doing it.
I said 5 seconds.
So-
What's going on? I'm not doing it. Oh my god. Okay.
I said 5 seconds.
Popping back into this.
No,
Getting out of this.
you have to keep that in.
Fine, I'll keep it in. This is bullshit. But okay, so now going into energy, I am 62% observant over intuitive, and I am likely pragmatic. So it's saying that I'm more pragmatic and down to earth, with a strong focus on what is happening or very likely to happen. So I feel like I think it's basically trying to say that I like to go off like having an idea of kind of what's going to happen here. I try to keep myself a bit more grounded, which I feel like is fair. I'd say that like I kind of have a more realistic view on certain things. What's next? Nature. So nature. I am 65% thinking. Interesting. Versus feeling. So I'm more likely to focus on objectivity and rationality, putting effectiveness above social harmony. And I kind of agree with that too. Like, I'd rather just be doing the right thing than caring about what else is going on. I think that more projects of me like when I'm working or doing things that I'm like passionate about. I'd rather just get it done the right way versus over everything else.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with me? You don't think I like to do things the right way
No.
when
Why?
I'm working?
Because
Why?
when we worked in the warehouse together, you were just like, can be done this way.
Well, that's the thing. Because it's the right way to do it. Like, it's not worth stressing out about it. You know what
The
I
right
mean?
way to do it?
The right way to do it is
It's
not to
actually
work it. The right way to do it is not to work that hard. Work smarter than work hard.
I say work hard.
No.
See,
But it's not
Pride
worth
for
your burning your body out. You know.
It's about the pride.
Pride of what?
I'm doing your work well.
Bro, nobody ever hired you for WSIB. I swear to God, bro. All right, next thing. Going into tactics, I am 72% prospecting, and apparently what that means is I'm likely good at improvising and adapting. You tend to be flexible and value novelty above stability. I think that's interesting. I feel like I'm pretty good at like being not necessarily flexible. I think I'm good at being improvising. Like when things go wrong, or when things you need a quick solution. I feel like I'm pretty good at that. Once again, I feel like a lot of this stuff more applies to me at work, like when I'm working, rather than on a daily life. Because I feel like improvising in sort of that, we don't really do that. Oh, somebody's nodding. They're shaking their head.
I think you're interpreting this all wrong. You're
Tell
thinking
me.
about it from the lens of work. And it's
Yeah, that's the hard part. I feel like a lot of my life right now, work is kind of taken over.
Same.
I have a really bad work-life balance.
Same.
But like, would you
All
say?
of us.
But would you say then you agree with this in terms of prospecting?
If I hand
Speak
you
loud.
$1,000
Speak loud.
If I hand you $1,000 right now, you're not thinking, how can I turn this into my retirement savings? You're thinking, what trip can I go on with this money? Yes, you value novelty over long term, whatever the alternative was.
Yeah. Okay, that's a fair point to say. So I guess it's a different take, but it's still kind of long. Yeah, that's a good point.
If I got $1,000 just going straight to my credit card bill. Yo. Credit cards.
We don't talk about
We
those.
hate credit card bills.
I don't know what
We
you're
don't.
talking about. I just see a card, I tap it, and then
I know,
the result
exactly.
at the
And
end.
then
Yeah.
it's just like...
And then you take that paper in the envelope that says that amount apparently that you owe or
I know
whatever, and
exactly.
just put it in the shredder.
Exactly,
There you
that's
go.
it. Yeah, and then you look at and then you try getting a house loan,
Mhm.
a mortgage loan, or a mortgage. they're like, oh, it's not approved. Why not?
Why not? I swear, I didn't think I was spending I was just tapping my card, you know? Alright, so last thing, identity. Apparently I am 58% turbulent over assertive. You're likely self-conscious, sensitive to stress, success-driven, perfectionistic, and eager to improve. Yeah. I would say, bro, I don't know. I feel like in terms of I feel it more towards the perfectionistic side. I feel like I'm so particular about how things are done or, how I want to eat. I feel like the smallest example of that is, how I fucking eat my food, which drives a lot of people insane. It's I want, I don't...
It's rubbing a lot. It's gonna...
Why did I bite my lip for that? What the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like with perfectionistic, I feel like I'm really particular with how things are done. And I think, other than with my friends, when I'm in the rest of my daily life, I just kind of have to do things a certain way for me to feel okay. I don't know. It's really weird because the other part says I'm flexible, the other part says I'm perfectionistic. So I'm kind of weirded out by this part. I think this part, when you're analyzing the percentages, I don't really get it. Audience, you're good at insight. What do you got on that?
What was the percentage?
58% turbulent.
That's almost split.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. It's not really biased towards us.
Because you're not fucking shaking in the corner thinking, oh, does everybody like me?
No, I'm really not. If anything, I don't really give a shit if people like me like that. But there's certain things where I can kind of see it. But I feel like versus yours, my percentages aren't very biased to one thing.
The one thing about me, or a big red flag about me, is I hate when people don't like me. Just one thing. Red flags. Even this is showing too. When MK picked Daniel, even though it's just a whatever thing,
this is why
in
I'm
me,
your type, right?
Exactly. In me is fuck. She doesn't like me. Not even that, or even at a volleyball tournament.
Do you feel like that amplifies in a sense of you think that she doesn't like you, or is it just
No, I don't know. Anything that just is negative in my way. I don't know.
You have to be the person that everybody likes.
Exactly. That's it. It's so fucked up.
Wow, that's a people pleaser thing.
Maybe. It's dude, even at my tournaments, there's one tournament where one person was just I didn't like this part of the tournament, and I thought about it the entire week. I was literally in tears.
Do you think that comes with being primarily extroverted?
I don't think it's healthy. I don't think I should. But
okay.
It's hard. You definitely can't. What I learned is if I'm chilling with this many people, I can't please everybody. Some things I might say to Liz, I can't. Other people might not like,
I mean, there's a difference between knowing that you can't please everybody, but also still trying to. And I'm not trying to point that out at you. I'm not even saying that you do it, but do you feel even with the awareness that you can't please everybody, do you still try to?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
The heck. Yeah, but I've been trying to be more true to myself recently. Before I used to shapeshift, especially if I liked the girl, I used to shapeshift. But now I kind of tried staying too true to myself. So
that's good.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you?
I do.
I did.
I shapeshifted for you. I did.
Okay, can we get context on it now, please, for our viewers? Please? Please? Now that we're talking about it like this?
Maybe later.
No, just say it right now.
Just say it right now.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Say it out loud. I'm just gonna, okay, whoever. Okay, you ask questions.
Okay, no, pretty much what happened is, after a New Brunswick trip, I'd get a random phone call from Liz, and then Liz was yo, this conversation we had in New Brunswick? I actually have, this girl that, matches those, what you want in a girl. And I'm like, okay. And then no picture, no insight, no nothing. I just knew that it was a girl with a hijab, or potentially had a hijab. And walked into a restaurant. I drove, 50 minutes just to get to this restaurant. And then...
also, you had it all set up for you, kind of thing.
No, we set it up.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
But I was aware that she doesn't have a car, so I drove pretty far. And yeah, I think we had a good day that day. We
sound kind of salty saying that.
No.
He's like, oh, I hate it. I hate saying this, but I have to.
When was this? It's April, May. When did we go to New Brunswick? May.
We went to New Brunswick.
Can I point out the day,
so
though?
June, I would say.
You know the date?
Yeah, I think so.
What the heck? She remembers. Crazy. What is it?
Yeah, I think it's around May 26th.
May 26th. Yeah.
Wow, that's around. That's specific. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I know that our whatever it was lasted for only a week. So May 26th to June 3rd specifically.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I wouldn't have told you that because I have no idea. But
exactly.
Interesting.
Didn't have any idea.
Can I be real here?
Yeah.
Me and Liz were so talking about it behind you guys. It was so much fun.
Why?
Just like convening.
Talking
like,
about
just,
what?
Like, we'd just be like, oh, like, this is going on, and this is going on, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually
It was really
we spent a lot of time that week. It was nice.
Hey, we only went out for 2 days. Come on.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, but within
That's
those
2
2
out of
days,
that's 2 out of 7 days.
7
That's-
days.
it was still a lot within the day. It wasn't just like a 2-hour thing. It was like we actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 2 days we were out, we were actually out for quite a long time.
Yeah.
So it was cool. It was cool. I wouldn't say it was bad and like it was a bad day or anything, but just yeah, different.
It's okay.
The vibes weren't there.
The vibes are just they're two different worlds, and the worlds can collide.
Yeah.
The worlds are just.
I love Liz though because I have a feeling she like pictured everything. She's like, oh my god, it's gonna be so perfect. My other friend and this friend gonna work out, and I'm gonna be the best friend.
Yo, she was actually
I'm gonna
really
be the
excited.
best-
She was so excited.
She's like,
She's
I'm gonna
super
be the
excited.
best man and the bridesmaid. It's gonna be so awesome.
She's just wearing a half dress, half suit. Like,
Yeah.
That'd be so funny.
Oh yeah.
One day.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was
We'll see.
actually fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys had fun. I'm glad.
But yeah, it was the same for me too. She actually came up to me one day and she was like, you know what? I've been thinking and I've been connecting the dots and finally I could. There's this guy and then you should definitely meet him. So she was like, basically, you should meet him. You have to meet him. I was like, whoa, why am I being forced into this? So I took some time and then because I said like I'm a bit conservative, so I don't necessarily jump into these just out of a whim. So I took my time and I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a leap of faith and I'll just get into it and see what happens. If it goes into something, that's great. If it doesn't, we can be really good friends.
So very like open-minded approach.
Very open-minded. I just went into it like, okay, I'm just going to meet a new person and we will connect from there.
I feel like that's, and in my opinion, I feel like that's just the best way to really approach something like that in general. I just feel like a lot of people who date right now just have an expectation of something, and I feel like that's one, unfair to the other person, and two, unfair to themselves in a way, just because like you're expecting a relationship when you don't even know, or like not even a relationship, but you're just expecting something to happen when you don't even know the person, kind of thing.
True.
I run into a lot of situations, not just my friends, but just hearing about that, like with like in every day with people around me that just jump into it with the wrong idea, and I think you jumped into it with the right idea.
Well,
Yeah.
I like to think so. Like, it wasn't quite, like, rushed. It wasn't anything, and I was taking my sweet time, of course. I would have taken a sweet time if it had worked out. And, yeah, it was just great. It was just great knowing a new person, and look how far we've come. We're doing a podcast.
She's in my house.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
Not being, I don't know, bitchy about each other. We're just being good
To be
buddies.
fair, I was bitchy about her at one point.
Well, he hated me. Come on, I know that. But
Just a
that's
little
okay.
salty.
I made my peace with it, and I don't hate you. Yeah, I don't.
I don't hate you either. That last night at the cottage was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, great. As
Literally,
long
we stood up till 4 a.m. just talking. It was nice. It wasn't just
4?
you. Was it 4 or later? Was it 5?
4 o'clock in the morning?
It was definitely
Really?
later. I think it was later.
What was it?
I think
Oh,
you're like 4:30.
cottage, you mean?
Cottage,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I got a wrong idea. I was like,
No,
whoa,
no,
that
no.
never happened.
At the cottage,
No,
yeah.
5 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning. We started.
I remember we made a pizza.
You guys started like 2 or 3, right?
No, we started at 11,
Yeah.
and then we started talking.
Oh,
and
okay,
talking
wait.
and
For
talking.
context, it wasn't just me and her. There was also 2 other people, but still.
Yeah,
It
we
was-
made
it
our
was
own
crazy.
podcast, by the way.
We did.
Yeah.
You should
We
subscribe
had
to that channel
such
too.
a deep podcast, but we couldn't record it because Daniel was not feeling well.
Dude, I was so out of it that last night. It was so bad, bro.
I looked
I'm
at
not-
Daniel, and then I was like, Daniel, are you there? And I was like, and then he just went back. I was like, whoa, okay.
I'm not gonna say why I was out of it. You guys could probably make your own conclusions from
Yeah,
that.
cottage, you know.
It was just,
I know.
Cottage
Yeah.
vibes.
You know,
Yeah.
something happened in Camden last year, around April 20th, you know. It's okay, anyways.
it was great. It was looking back on it though, like that was fun. It was just really fun. I just remember being at that table though when you guys were talking, looking at the food, not knowing what I was looking at, and just like in my own head. It was crazy.
No, everything was good in the cottage except for the night that we slept on the sofa. That was
For other reasons.
That's a whole
that was the
different
most
Bro,
one.
that was-
uncomfortable sleep in my life.
Dude, your feet were in my face,
I'm
bro.
so sorry, dude.
But it's okay. I'm pretty sure I
Because
woke
I need to
up.
lie down. I can't. There's no way.
Liz had knocked out on the end of the couch,
know.
and I'm like, why are my toes warm? And my toes were just
Yeah.
up her sleeve.
You're
And it was
fine.
just, And I was like, why the fuck are my toes so hard?
No. You know that meme that you're like, oh, I have to sleep over and I forget to give my friends the blankets. Everyone had like weird ass blankets.
yeah, literally, everybody had like a weird ass fucking blanket, and we were all using like a couch cushion, so like
pillows,
as
like
crazy.
a pillow, like.
So yeah, I do remember like when I was leaving, I was like, you know what, I cannot sleep here. I have to go to my like room, and then I would have to sleep on my bed. So I was like, hey guys, bye, I'm just gonna leave for now, good night, and all that. You guys were knocked out. Nobody could say anything. You were like, you know, sleeping in each other's whatever. Like,
We're all in each other's personal space.
Personal spaces in a very different position.
I don't know how we fit 3 people on the couch, but we did.
Was there? I swear there was 4.
No, there were like 5.
There was 5.
5.
Okay.
Yeah, at one point there was 5.
I remember I was on one edge of the couch and Liz was on the other, and you were definitely in the middle. And then there's
no, but there's
2
2 people sitting, but they went to their room
Oh,
afterwards. Yeah. But like at the end of,
Yeah.
when I woke up, it was just us 3.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
that's different because that's
Yeah.
not what I saw. When I left, everybody was there, and then everybody was literally like, you know, just was in each other's personal spaces.
I had to take a nap midday after that.
We were all either dying or half dying. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It was great. And watching Futurama.
Oh my.
Futurama.
Yo, I'm never gonna watch Futurama again. That was on like repeat, not repeat, but just Futurama episodes, and that was
like over and
over.
Over and over, yeah. True.
But there were some interesting episodes. Can't lie, there were some interesting episodes.
Yeah, that was a great.
That Cyclops girl, she's kind of.
Yo, she's bad. She's
kinda
bad. She's pretty bad.
She's kind of bad.
That dominated when I was like 13, 14.
Yeah.
Mwah, bro.
Oh my god. I think earlier than that, man. Like grade 3. It was like a long time ago. Futurama,
Really, for you?
Futurama
for me,
was 07.
Futurama. No, the thing is, yeah, you're right. But I was just like, I got onto it kind of late because I didn't have the channel. But like, yeah, good times. Okay, well, aside from that though, we have to get onto your MBTI.
Oh, mine. Yeah. Let's get into it. What's mine? Where did you go actually?
Because
I got this.
Did you email yours?
I did.
Go, pull up your email.
What was it? Wait.
We're gonna trim this up. Liz, how you doing?
This is what I got.
So we're gonna do.
Your backstories. So I feel like there was a lot more that you got.
Oh, that's what you did.
And then we're gonna do.
About me and her going out.
You do whatever, it doesn't matter.
What else should I say?
Maybe not you, but like I know.
What was the email you sent it to?
Oh, is there?
I feel like she's really pulling her punches today.
Why? Because she doesn't pull her punches with you.
No,
She probably saw a picture of me and I was like, oh my god, this
There's
fucking
like
guy.
so much more that you could be saying. Okay.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I will. Don't worry.
Like when you guys were talking about your
That's
backstory,
cool.
I expected. Ooh, sorry. I expected you to go into.
Just put like whatever. I don't care.
My what?
I expected you to go into like why you were hesitant to. Go
But that's not the whole topic. Why?
What do you mean?
Oh, like the back. You want a bit more of an in-depth backstory to that?
Some backstory as to why there's some like.
120. Yeah.
I was wondering if it glows in the dark.
His elbow.
Yeah, no,
My
his tattoo.
tattoo.
Do you have any tattoos, Liz?
There we go.
I really, really.
What?
I say this all the time. No, I don't.
Ah, okay.
I love the way my skin looks without anything like fucked up.
Me
on
too.
Let me see.
Thank you.
I've
It looks
never
so
seen
good.
it.
I know, it does.
Especially because, like, me personally, I'm very hairless and very soft and my skin is beautiful. So to put a tattoo on it that I can't remove, it's like, why?
I know, 100%.
But I like it
that
on
way.
other
Wow.
people.
I know.
MK and I were on the train today, and I was like, wow, look how cool that girl looks with all those tattoos. Looks good on some people.
Okay.
She is set up for this part.
Sure. Are you guys ready for it?
Wait,
Yeah,
before we get into it, the reason I was saying that you could have done more is because, like, there's a reason that, like, you were hesitant to go on this date. So I thought you were going to give, like, a one-sentence
Oh no,
summary
because
of
that's
that.
not the whole topic for this
And
conversation
then there
today.
was a reason.
We can talk about it.
Okay, talk about it. Go. 1, 2, 3.
Wait, and then I expected you to go into, like, what it was about the interactions that made it so that you guys weren't into each other.
I just kept talking about Lego. I'm joking. I
You
don't
just
think
went a
I
little
even
bit. You went
looked.
because
didn't.
for your part, you went more backstory, and she went less backstory. She just kind of was like, yeah.
Okay. Ready?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, that works.
Oh, speaking of, that just reminded me. Yo, Liz can talk to birds. She talked to a bird, and it was so crazy. It was like, what was it, 7
when you were whistling?
Was it 7
Yeah,
a.m.?
it was like 7 a.m.
It was like 7 a.m. and then she just started whistling, and then the bird whistled back.
They were just
And then
bantering.
we thought it was like a coincidence, and then she just kept doing it for like 7
And they just
more
kept
times.
going.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, it was
Like
crazy.
7 more times. That,
Yeah.
that was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. And it was like on like a balcony at our hotel.
It was crazy.
It was crazy. The bird whisperer.
Can you do that actually?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
3 of us
insane.
saw it live. Like,
I just woke up. I thought I was seeing God. I'm joking. I love you, God. Okay, go.
okay, let's go for it.
Okay, so my personality type is commander. Commanders are bold, imaginative, and strong-willed, always finding a way or making one, which I do really, I don't know, I agree to it actually. Because I feel like most of the time what I'm thinking, I stand by it. Like, I'm not fearing about expressing my opinions. I'm like, okay, that's what I feel, and that's how it is. Some things that I would say in a way like it's my way or no way, which is bad. But it's still like, I like to make my opinions very clear and I stand by those. I like to think a lot, like go deeper into conversations, which is why I love having deep talks. Deep talks like...
Why are you laughing? What happened? Okay. Oh, it matches?
Watching you watch her is just so funny.
She just cut me off. Can we start over?
No, it's
No,
fine.
you
Keep
keep
going.
going.
It's okay, man. It's just loose.
Okay.
She's holding it. If I'm turning the camera, she's like the entire time.
We should have cammed Liz, I'm telling you. Or mic'd her up at least.
Why don't you come in front of the camera anyway?
Come sit here. We'll put a chair here.
It's okay. Go.
Yeah, sit between them.
Shy.
Shot. You? Out of all the people. Okay, so what is it called though?
So you're an ENTJ-T.
But what does it stand for? Because this is my first time taking this personality test.
It has the percentages here, I believe. So you are they spell extroverted wrong. No?
Extraverted.
Close enough. Same shit.
Okay.
Extrovert. Yeah. So you're 59% extroverted.
And 41% introverted, which is something that I do agree. That if I were to actually rate myself, I would say I'm extroverted and I'm also introverted. That depends on somebody that I'm talking to. Mm-hmm. I like to take my sweet time. When I'm doing things by myself, I'm doing things by myself. I don't I don't mind watching a movie by myself. I actually did watch a movie by myself in an empty theater. Absolutely
so nice.
Nobody was there.
That sounds so nice.
Rather just
No,
jump
I
off the bridge.
loved it until the very last moment, and then a couple walked in. I think they walked in way too early for like the next movie that they were gonna watch, and I'm like,
They're probably trying to smash or something.
why are you guys here? And then they actually like sat way distant from me, and I'm like, okay, I
Like
know
wait,
what's going
I
on.
need to know.
Way.
Like in the corner distance.
In one of the corners.
They're
yeah.
trying to smash.
I know, and then I'm
telling
like,
you.
why are you guys here? Why are you ruining it for me? But then I was like, oh, whatever. The movie's gonna be over in a bit, so I got my fun. But that's the whole point that I was trying to give here, that I like to be around people, which I'm doing right now, and I'm loving it. And I also like to take my alone time, which I call me times. I take myself out on solo dates, to restaurants. I sit there by myself. I go to nature, do my things. I go out in the morning to have my own walk, run, or whatever, if I'm feeling like it. So that's why it's the perfect balance, because I'm a little bit more extroverted than introverted. That's where like the percentages are like perfect, I would say. 59%, 41%.
If I'm looking at a lot of your percentages, they're actually pretty well balanced. Kind
I
of
know.
like I'm not gonna say kind of like mine, but a lot like mine. They're kind of more middling, like more towards the center.
Is it because you guys didn't press strongly agree for them? Maybe that's why.
If I
That's
go
the thing.
strongly
How do
agree,
how
then-
do I strongly agree if
Exactly.
I don't? Right?
Yeah, okay.
Like
Maybe-
there's a degree of how much I agree.
Oh, I strongly agree on a lot
So
of
you're
things.
just strongly agree and strongly disagree?
For a lot of them.
So that's like I think that's more of a polarizing thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? Why does that? What's that reaction?
I don't know. I just
She hates
feel
me. It's okay.
I don't.
It's okay.
Let's make that clear
She
right
hates me.
there.
It's okay.
I don't hate you.
That side of me is
but
coming
I do.
out.
I do. I
It's
do
flaring
feel.
up. My childhood. Everyone hates me.
I'm gonna take this away and put it.
Exactly. Let's
There.
do that. Does he have a backup anywhere?
Nah.
No, he doesn't. That's good. That's good. As long as he doesn't.
I have one in my pants. Checking.
You have 14 feet in your pants apparently from the first episode.
Exactly.
Yeah, third leg.
Wow, that's a bit too much information, don't you think? TMI.
No, that's his tail, but it's just attached in the front.
Facts.
Ooh.
Go.
Okay. Okay.
I think earlier in this
Anyway.
episode we mentioned that there's a different girl in my bed every day, so.
There's one right now.
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
Woo.
Anyway,
Sorry,
yes.
I'm like over your shoulder looking at this thing. I'm so
that's
curious.
okay. And then I'm 61% intuitive. you're likely very imaginative and open-minded, focusing on hidden meanings and distant possibilities, which I mentioned, that I like to go deeper into things. So I like to dig in deep and then try to get that deep meaning out of it, which is why, like, I do keep an open mind, though.
Can I ask one thing about that?
Yeah.
And this is just coming off from what just from based off mine as well.
Yeah.
I would say it's still pretty close to, like, you're at 61%, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that on the retrospective or on the other side of it as well, you might be a little bit of the opposite of some of the things too? I don't mean to kind of...
Oh, no, that's okay. That's a perfect question. Observant, you mean like I'm also quite observant in that case? Is that what you mean?
I guess, yeah, to generalize it, yeah. But I feel like even just the opposite of some of the things here, right? Like, you're saying here you're likely very imaginative and open-minded. Do you have points where you feel like you could be the opposite of certain things?
Like distant possibilities, yeah, this is something that I don't think as often, but I would say I would think, given the situation. Of course, not as always, but the imaginative, open-minded, and focusing on hidden meanings is something that I always do. Like, I start a conversation, and then, of course, it has to be a certain person, and then we go that deeper into talks, and then I'll be like, oh, okay, why could that not happen? Why could this not happen? Why is it that this is the case?
Right.
So I dig in deeper to get that deeper meaning out of it, and, like, of course, make somebody realize something that they probably haven't been able to realize.
Yeah.
Not that it's my job to do it, but, okay, sometimes I bring it out of them. So that's that. 72% thinking. You likely focus on objectivity and rationality, putting effectiveness above social harmony. Truly agree. Strongly agree. Okay. I like to think things from my head, not from my heart. So I don't quite relate to emotionally, but I would think of it as a rational point of view. I would say, oh, okay, that's not how it is, and that's how it should be. Whereas, like, you know how sometimes you think of something and then you're like, oh, okay, that's a very emotional point of view. And then you're like, oh, okay, I relate to you. I would probably relate to you. But then if I were to put myself in that exact spot, no, I don't see it that way.
I get it, because since I have this kind of similarity thing, I think I got that. It's like, you can see how, it's more like you can see how they're coming, the angle that they're coming from with it. But if you're to put in that same position, you would not.
No. Let's say somebody is saying something very sad about their life, okay? I get it. I understand. I do empathize with them. But then if I were to put myself in that same exact spot, no, I don't see it that way.
Can guarantee you would not feel the same.
I would be like, oh, okay, that happened. Okay, let's move on. Let's get past this, and then let's do something else. I would move on real quick.
Can I add to that as well?
Sure.
In terms of... Because one of the things that you put was like...
Yeah.
I just lost my train of thought on that fucking son of a bitch. I think... Trying to remember. You said you tend to think with things like think through things more than with your heart, right? Like, have you ever been, for me, when I'm put in this situation, I don't know if you can relate, but there's things where growing up, and this might just be me, like, projecting something, but, or even now, like, for example, when my mom and I get into arguments and or something like that, or even just in general, people argue me and they give me a reason of, like, more an emotional reason or a just because reason.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes with the thinking, I can't relate. Because if they're arguing with me about that, I'm like, but that's literally not the right thing, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, true.
Do you ever feel like that's you? That's where I'm coming from with that.
Well, I would also have to mention this, that I was always not like this, okay? So over the years, I've changed. I was actually telling Liz this actually today, that I was not like this. I was not, like, always thinking things through my mind. I used to think things by heart. Definitely. Okay. I would take it by heart and be like, oh, okay, no, I'm heart, I'm this. But then I think a lot of the things did happen that did not acknowledge how I was feeling at the moment. That's when I started feeling things with my mind, not my heart. And then I just completely kind of wiped it off. And then I'm like, okay, no, I don't think it that way anymore. So a lot of the things happened with, like, past experiences, definitely, which put me into the spot. So yes, to some extent, I used to do that too.
Yeah.
The one that you mentioned.
Because I feel like one thing is, like, thinking with your heart's a lot more dynamic than thinking with your mind. I feel like sometimes your mind when going into the aspect of, like, thinking of things. How did it say that there? Like objectivity. Sometimes it can be a bit more black and white than thinking with your heart.
Yeah, true.
And that's also kind of in my opinion, a bit to bring into the other side of it is like a closed-mindedness too.
Yeah, I would say. Like, what do you mean? Sorry,
Like
I didn't
black
get it.
I think just thinking black and white sometimes can be a bit more closed-minded because you don't factor the in-between kind of stuff of that. You know, the gray area.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
True. So when I'm thinking with my mind, I take into account everything else, not just that one topic. So I would sit there and then take everything else into account.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And then I'm like, oh, okay, this is what it should be. Or this is the decision, finally.
Yeah.
Whereas if I were to completely put my mind out of the equation and then be like, oh, okay, that's how I feel. Oh my God, it would go the complete opposite.
Right.
Yeah, it's just not going to be an efficient decision for me. And I think thinking with my mind actually does work for me.
Yeah.
Rather than thinking with my heart. I would make a lot of weird decisions if I were to think by my heart. Yeah, and I don't want to do that. I did that in the past, though. Just as an FYI. It's wrong now. So, what else is there? This is also very close. Judging. You're likely highly organized, decisive, and thorough. You value clarity and prefer planning to spontaneity. You know what? These things are like super like
But
close.
This is 58%, right? So same thing with the next part. So I don't know if you can really.
Oh, the next part is super close.
It's so close.
It's like assertive and turbulent, and I'm like 51% turbulent. You're likely self-conscious,
It's like
sensitive.
a 1% difference.
I know.
I don't even know if you can.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm not trying to rule it out for you. I'm just saying, in my opinion, that would like rule it out. You know.
That does rule it out for me. 51%. I don't know if I do believe that I'm a perfectionistic and eager to improve. Sometimes I do judge myself. Like, you know, I'm like literally being that critic for myself.
Yeah.
But then in terms of being assertive, yes. Like, positive point of view. Optimistic, not always going everywhere like in a pessimistic mood. And then be like, oh, okay, this is not working out for me.
Okay.
Not like that. So my answers are pretty close to each other. I feel like Nihal's is just an extreme opposite. And
Yeah,
then it's
Nihal's just like,
pretty
he's
easy
either
to
one or the
define.
other, and he
Yeah.
just...
Do you agree with all your results though?
I think I do.
You do?
Okay.
I think I agree like both sides to some extent.
Yeah,
here
I
and
think I'm with you on that. But I feel like when it comes to a lot of these things, I found myself more doing, unless I really, really strongly agreed, a lot of my stuff was more either the second or the third agree or disagree, not the last one. I think especially it was just like the smallest dot, you know what I mean? So
Yes.
I agree. I found myself kind of like,
Yeah.
I see myself doing that, but I can't really say I'm fully that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. I did have like some of the questions where I was like strongly agreeing or strongly disagreeing, but most questions were like in that 3 dots, I would say.
Yeah, within like to the
Yeah.
closer to the middle, right?
Yeah, true.
I feel you.
So that's how we're similar, and that's how I chose him. Had to make that clear.
I didn't say anything, man. I didn't say anything. You just took a shot
I don't
at
hate you. I don't hate you. But I had to make that clear, you know? I had to make that clear.
That's crazy.
Give me a blade.
No, I'm not
Pull
giving
the
you
plug.
that.
Pull the fucking plug.
All right. Well, I kind of wanted to go into this the summary of it. Like, you see how here it kind of gives you the introduction, strengths and weaknesses.
Oh,
we can kind of go into it a little bit.
True.
I think I'll go with mine first, so you can kind of have an idea, both of you, of what to go into when doing that. So, so the introduction. So for mine,
The guests are really getting to know us today.
yeah.
I know.
Our
It's getting
stalkers,
too
for,
deep.
for stalkers, if we do have stalkers, this
Yeah.
is their dream.
Yo,
podcast.
this is
This is it.
Some stalker could just work their way into being your wife.
Oh my god, exactly.
And just be like the perfect answer to
Oh my
everything.
God, yeah.
And all you know is like when you're sleeping, she'll just have her eyes open at the edge of the bed.
100%, yeah. If MK has a stalker, they know because like I also said her birthday earlier, so
Oh
Yeah,
no.
just
Oh
GG.
no.
Well, her birth year, right?
no.
Birth
the
year,
entire
date.
birthday.
Oh yeah,
everything.
you yeah. It's okay.
Okay.
I can choose to bleep that out if I want to,
Okay.
for the right amount of money. No, I'm joking. All right. So for
I'll say it
mine,
again. December 31st, 1999. Okay, go.
Why did you do me like
It's okay.
that?
It's okay.
it's crazy. He's just being a hater.
It's okay.
He is a hater. He's hating me
It's
since
because
the
you chose
beginning.
Daniel. It's because you chose Daniel.
That's crazy. All right.
So
So
keep calling that back.
just the whole time.
Every time.
I'll
But
choose
can I at least
Daniel.
like
I'll
continue
choose
reading?
Daniel. I'll keep on choosing
and
Daniel.
you're not-
What are you gonna do?
Sorry, what? What
Can I just keep on reading before getting interrupted?
Okay,
or-
go.
By either of you. Okay, and I'm gonna have another fucking clip of that being interrupted again for the whole thing. Okay, but yeah, so the introduction to mine. So going back to it, I am a virtuoso, but that's what it was, they classified me as. So virtuosos love to explore with their hands and their eyes, touching and examining the world around them with cool rationalism and spirited curiosity. People with this personality type are natural makers, moving from project to project, building the useful and the superfluous for the fun of it, and learning from the environment as they go. Often mechanics and engineers, virtuosos find no greater joy than getting their hands dirty, pulling things apart, and putting them back together just a little bit better than they were before. Virtuosos explore ideas through creating, troubleshooting, trial and error, and first-hand experience. They enjoy having other people take an interest in their project and sometimes don't even mind them getting into their space. Of course, that's on the condition that those people don't interfere with virtuosos' principles and freedom, and they'll need to be open to virtuosos returning their interest in kind. Virtuosos also dare to differ. While their mechanical tendencies can make them appear simple at a glance, virtuosos are actually quite enigmatic, friendly but very private, calm but suddenly spontaneous, extremely curious but unable to stay focused on formal studies. Ouch. Virtuoso personalities can be a challenge to predict, even by their friends and loved ones. Virtuosos can seem very loyal and steady for a while, but they tend to build up a store of impulsive energy that explodes without warning, taking their interest in bold new directions. Other than that...
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that pretty much summarizes it. But yeah, I think that's pretty
impulsive
interesting.
Stuff.
Would you
What's
do that?
Impulsive that you do?
Impulsive that I do? I mean, like... What is impulsive that
Make
I
this
do?
fucking podcast?
That was pretty impulsive. I would say not necessarily the preparation of a trip, because I feel like the whim to kind of be like, hey, let's do a trip. Even though it's not necessarily like, well, I'll do it months in advance, but like when I kind of see like, hey, there's an opportunity to do it, let's just fucking jump on it right now. Kind of thing. I'm not like, I don't think I'm too impulsive to the extent of like, hey, it's like a week fucking before this kind of date thing. I won't necessarily jump into it on that. Mm-hmm. But I feel like when I kind of see that opportunity, I'll jump on it.
Cool.
Yeah.
But you also make it work, you know?
Yeah.
You jump on it, you make it work, you make it sound like, oh, okay.
But I feel like I feel like the making it work part isn't necessarily onto the impulsive side of it, right? Mm-hmm. It's more like, that's just, I want to make it work so bad that I'll kind of put in the effort to do that, right? Yeah.
That's amazing.
So from what I read so far, do you guys agree on what I've said?
Yeah, especially the handyman side. I feel like you should go into the trades. I went into the trades even though I shouldn't have gone into the trades. I mean, I could do it, but you have the natural stuff to do.
Oh, like in what sense?
Handyman stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like even the closet, right, that we moved, and then the door.
Oh, we were putting it together.
Yeah, and just like the ease that you did it and all that stuff. So, yeah, I feel like if you spend like a year in just like a trade school, I think you can make like good money.
Fair.
You definitely should go. He actually made me watch one of your stuff, like when we were at the IKEA one day. And he's like, oh, Daniel does this kind of work. I was like, no way. That's so cool. I was like literally praising for the entire time when we were walking through that aisle. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, he should definitely do this for the rest of his life.
I don't know about the rest of my life.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Like,
see, this is what I do on dates. I praise other men.
and
that's why she's my type now. I'm going to call audience. Audience, what, do you agree? Do you disagree? I feel like you've known me the longest out of everybody here.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
Speak louder!
I got you.
Yeah, no, it's pretty accurate. There was one thing that you said earlier, though, that I totally disagree with your interpretation of it, because what you said was that... I wrote it down.
Thank God.
Daniel said that he is rational overthinking with the heart.
You don't think so?
That's such bullshit. Because realistically, you are not quote unquote rational. I think rational is when you can see things objectively, and that's not you.
Okay.
You have very strong values, and that's a very strong moral compass. So that idea that like you know what's right, and like you can obviously see what's right, but when other people think with their feelings, like you know what's right, I don't think that's you thinking rationally. I think that's you with your strong morals, knowing the difference between right and wrong. When other people are emotional and they kind of blur it for themselves, you already know what's right.
So that's not necessarily like a rationalism.
It's not a rationalism. You are a lover. You think with your heart.
Really?
You do. You have the biggest heart, and a lot of what you do is driven by the things that you enjoy doing, the people you enjoy doing it with, like the experiences that you gather through doing new things, like. You're a lover, you know. You are emotional, but to say that you're, the way that you describe being rational, it almost seems like you're cold and you're calculated. Like, no, you just have very strong morals and a big heart.
I feel like that's true. I feel like I associate rationalism with a more calculated like attitude. I think that's always kind of how I've seen it as, and I don't know. I just feel like rational is like you kind of when you're doing being rational. I think you just kind of devoid yourself of the emotional decision making of it and just see it for what it really is. That's what kind
Which
of.
is not what you do though. Which is not what you do, because when you sometimes a decision, and I can't call to mind anything at the moment, but this fits with your character so well, where sometimes there's a situation where like one thing might be objectively better than another, but you're taking everybody's feelings into account before you move on.
Okay.
Actually, a good example would be the podcast. Taking the time to show me the parts that you felt like I should see before you go and upload it. You're taking my feelings into account rather than just trying to get season 2 up.
Okay, that's actually a pretty good point. Damn. Thank God for our fucking audience.
Call us out like that.
Yeah, I actually appreciate that too, because it's like even like if we disagree, then we can just beef it out. I'm cool with that too.
Yes.
Beef. Interesting. All right, who wants to go next?
Should I go?
Do it.
Okay. Again, just to mention, I'm a commander personality.
Oh, Commander.
Commander. So, commanders are natural-born leaders. People with this personality type embody the gifts of charisma and confidence and project authority in a way that draws crowds together behind a common goal. However, commanders are also characterized by an often ruthless level of rationality, using their drive, determination, and sharp minds to achieve whatever end they've set for themselves. Perhaps it's for the best that they make up only 3% of the population. What? I did not know that.
You definitely a minority.
Wow.
You're a minority.
Lest they overwhelm the more timid and sensitive personality types that make up much of the rest of the world. But we have commanders to thank for many of the businesses and institutions we take for granted every day. Ooh. So that's part of the introduction. I can go on, but this is going to be too long. I don't want to be.
I think we need like a little bit more into it.
Another
Just
section?
a little more part.
Yeah. So coming up to striving for greatness. If there is anything commanders love, it's a good challenge, big or small, and they firmly believe that given enough time and resources, they can achieve any goal. This quality makes people with the commander personality type brilliant entrepreneurs, and their ability to think strategically and hold a long-term focus while executing each step of their plans with determination and precision makes them powerful business leaders. This determination is often a self-fulfilling prophecy, as commanders push their goals through their sheer willpower, where others might give up and move on. And their extroverted nature means they're likely to push everybody else right along with them, achieving spectacular results in the process.
Sheesh.
Woo. Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Are you saluting her?
Yeah, Commander.
Oh, are you actually?
I was saluting the whole time you're reading.
I did not see that.
I just have to, Commander on deck.
Commander, yeah. Oh my god, how do I feel about it?
Do you agree with it? Do you agree with a lot of
I like
things?
to lead. I'll tell that. Yeah, I like to lead.
Do you feel like it's something that you just naturally lean into, kind of like in terms of not necessarily ordering around, but like what do you think makes you?
I agree.
What do
Like
you think?
Yeah, what like parts of you are like make you a leader? Like what makes you lead in a way?
I don't know. It's just the fact that okay. Do I put this way? Okay, I'm a bit dominant. Okay, as I said.
All right.
It's my way or no way. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I like to think like that sometimes. So
I'm gonna be on the podcast today, okay, Daniel? That's what she said
just
before coming here.
yeah.
And then
I
I was
asked her,
fuck.
it's like,
We had to cancel our other podcast
I
guest,
mean-
get her in. Holy shit.
Oh.
And yes, I like to always present my ideas, and the fact that being a leader actually makes me happy. I like to lead. I like to be the, top of the game.
Top dog.
Yeah, top dog. Top dog. Be out there, leading people, making everybody listen to me. That's a bit dominant. But I think the audience can agree. She can actually say much more given she sees that every day. So... But yeah, I love being a leader. Jokes aside, I love being a leader. The fact that, you get to be that person who is kind of responsible for everybody else, and also bringing up a bigger perspective into effect makes me really happy. And I sometimes overwork, not just in terms of work or what I do. I sometimes go out of my way to literally fully exhaust myself. And then at the end of the day, probably I'll be like, oh my God, I have to do this over and over again tomorrow. But the fact that I feel like the entire day I have had so many projects that I accomplished makes me really happy. That's like a goal-driven like mentality that I have. I need to have all those goals. I need to fulfill them. And then if I do that, it makes me really happy and recharge myself. And then I can get back on game again. And that's pretty much what makes me like, going on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I do really agree with that, like about me being a commander. The fact that it says like, I don't know. I'm gonna actually ask you guys.
Yeah, I actually, what's it called? I agree that you're pretty charismatic. I don't think in a conventional way where, for me, I think a charismatic person just like, puff out my chest, kind of talk to everybody. That's how I associate it. Like,
okay.
In a sense, I feel like charisma where you are just so willing to, one, like, be like so authentic to us. You're so willing to just talk to us. Even just first meeting us at the cottage, I think you just, there wasn't for me any kind of shyness towards approaching us when you were talking, especially when talking to me, or even meeting you that first time before the cottage.
Yeah, exactly.
But interacting with everybody, it's a big group, right, of people to meet,
yeah.
And you didn't shy away from it at all, in my opinion. I think you were willing to openly talk with everybody, and granted, you talked to certain people more than you talked to everyone else.
True.
But
yeah,
I
did.
I think you kind of attacked it. I say attacking like talking to you.
Yes.
Yeah, Commander.
Attacked it.
I definitely think you just approached everybody with the same way, and that was just all like, I don't know how to put it, but just authentically you, without really kind of like hiding much, or kind of with a shy vibe, I guess.
But adding on to that, I also do feel like, it just comes from both sides as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like if the people that I was interacting with, if they were not going to be super open to kind of like, interact back, or like, keep on going with the conversation, probably would not have happened that way. So for me, if I were to bring out that extrovert personality, I don't know why they're calling it extrovert though. Isn't it extrovert?
I don't know if like you can really associate it extrovert introvert in that sense. I feel like more going back to where you're saying, I think it's still more charismatic as well.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a confidence that you came in with, like not a like it didn't feel like you were like coming to it with a bit of insecurity talking to us, I guess.
Okay, so I think I kind of went about how I am a commander. Let's hear yours, actually.
Yeah, I have yours pulled up here.
By the way, his lock screen is a picture of just me and him, and I appreciate that.
Just you and me.
That's
I'm joking.
cute.
I'm joking. Oh man, why can't you just go with it?
Because I'm a truther, man.
He had to make that
as
clear.
Josh said, I ain't calling you a truther, but I am a truther. Okay.
Well, I ain't calling you a truth. Yeah.
Yeah. So you describe yours, buddy.
I'm just gonna read it real quick. It reminds me of grade 8 when you had to like read in front of the class. Okay. So I'm a consul, as a reminder. I'm an E for extrovert because I like talking, even though
I think I already summarized that. You can go straight to the
I've been pretty quiet this episode, but I swear I talk to people. Okay. For consuls, life is sweetest when it's shared with others. Damn, snap. No, okay, so a little bit. People with this personality type form the bedrock of many communities, opening their homes, literally, you're in my fucking house right now, and their hearts to friends, loved ones, and neighbors. I think I could agree to that. I think about this all the time, like my friend groups and everything. Out of all my friend groups, I haven't really been in other people's houses. Everyone just comes to my house. Like, my house was always the house growing up. Whether it was the top floor, main floor, my bedroom, my old bedroom upstairs, whatever. But yeah, I've always been that guy. And even parties, I love house parties. People are like, "Yo, rent a hall." No, I want the party in my house. By the way, I'll show you guys the photo album after. Have you seen my house party photo album?
No,
Okay.
I've never.
I think Daniel has.
Yeah.
I'll show it to you guys. Anyways, this doesn't mean that consuls like everyone, or that they're saints. But consuls do believe in the power of hospitality and good manners. Basement's pretty messy right now, it's fine. And they tend to feel a sense of duty to those around them. Generous and reliable, people with this personality type often take it upon themselves in both large and small, in ways both large and small to hold their families and communities together. Yeah. So it is. And then there's a lot more, but that was the first.
Yeah, it's a lengthy one for that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. That's.
I think that's pretty.
Yo, when
accurate.
they said like what's it called? Where was it? Does it mean consoles like everyone or that they're saints? Yo, I was like this guy ain't no fucking saint, bro.
What do you mean? I'm a saint.
What?
What? Why?
You're a saint?
How? No.
Cool.
Have I ever been mean to anybody?
Raise your hand. I'll raise both my hands here.
Here, I will keep on raising my hand.
I say racist jokes all the time to Daniel. He feels uncomfortable sometimes.
I mean, they're just not tasteful. Like, they're just like at least be creative with it, you know. Okay, well that was honestly though I definitely feel that where it's like you form the bedrock of many communities. I would say, especially with what you're working on right now, right? With the whole volleyball thing, you kind of are like really building that community there. So, like with that cringiness and everything, right? So, yeah. Moving on. Okay, next part. I think the next 2 parts. I think we're gonna call it with that. I think it's just very interesting. I want to talk about the strengths and weaknesses, and then we can either choose friendships or romantic relationships aspect of it.
Okay, let's try making this quick because it's an hour and a half so far the podcast.
Yeah,
Listeners, if you're still listening, man,
we love you.
fuck, man.
Thank you.
What the hell's wrong with you guys? Okay.
Okay, we took 2 different routes there. I think we gotta sync up better next time when which one we're doing. Okay, got it. All right, do you want to go first, Commander? Commander on deck. Commander in Chief.
Sure. What should I go with? Strengths or weaknesses?
Well, list both.
Okay, commander strengths. Efficient. Commanders see inefficiency not just as a problem in its own right, but as something that pulls time and energy away from all their future goals. An elaborate sabotage consisting of irrationality and laziness. Well, you know what? I can explain this better. I feel like...
Oh, she's defending herself.
I feel like this is more related to my work and what I do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I do not like things when things are just not efficient. It's not done. And I'm like, really, no, it has to be done. It has to be done in a certain way. It has to go in a specific way to reach that conclusion.
It's my favorite thing to look at Liz when you're talking because I just want to see what she's...
I know. Yeah, she would completely agree with that, I would say. She would completely agree with that.
It's not just your work.
It's... Well, okay. I like to put everything into equation. That's true. Not just my work. Like, the equation being right or wrong, there's no in between. Either it can be right or it can be wrong.
Okay.
So that makes it efficient for me to kind of come to the conclusion that, okay, this is the decision that I'm gonna, like, you know, kind of go towards. And then, yeah, I'll go along with it after.
Mm-hmm.
So another strengths for commander would be energetic. Rather than finding this process taxing, commanders are energized by it, genuinely enjoying leading their teams forward as they implement their plans and goals. It's more of like leading all the time. I don't know. They
That's
base
like what
it on...
Commander does, right?
I know,
Chief.
but like energetic, I would say not just in terms of leading, but in other areas of life where I would say... I think I can explain this based on like how I was at the cottage.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys could remember, I was almost everywhere.
Yeah.
Like I was playing... I was, paddle boating. I was part of the, audience of the podcast.
You were there when Daniel broke my spike ball kit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was there too.
So if you're so I need a no, we're doing this now. So it's like
It's
so
just
the
a
first
joke.
No. First half hour he's like, oh, don't worry about it, bro. It's just you just broke the
I
spike.
know, he said
Literally
that.
ever since he's like, bro, you fucking broke my spike ball, man, bro. It's like yo, you should you can pay me for it, blah blah blah, bro. Oh my god,
He
make me
started
cry,
cussing you
man.
for it after. Like first half an hour, you were okay. You were like, yeah,
I
okay.
haven't touched a spike ball kit since. I haven't played spike ball since. Because I don't have a spike ball.
I am sorry I broke it, but how you feel is your problem.
He's still not over it. Not over it. No,
It's okay.
that's okay. Get
You,
over it.
you gave me
know.
more time to focus on tennis.
Alright.
So I appreciate that.
I'm glad you can find the silver lining to that. Alright, what's next?
Anyway, commanders are also self-confident. I'm not going to go into details in any of these. I'm just going to read out the points.
Okay.
Self-confident, strong-willed, strategic thinkers, charismatic, and inspiring. This I would like to read out loud, though. These qualities combine to create individuals who are able to inspire and invigorate others, who people actually want to be their leaders, and this in turn helps commanders to accomplish their often ambitious goals that could never be finished alone. So, inspiring in the sense, I would go into a conversation, and then if somebody's having a bad day, as I mentioned before, like, I don't put myself out there to be in their shoes and then think about it as if, like, oh, okay, if I were to be in that same exact spot, I probably wouldn't be thinking in that way. But given that person in that spot, if I find somebody there and then they're, like, you know, down for some reason, or they're, like, not just having it their way, or, like, feeling not very good in that specific day, or just pretty much feeling bad about a specific experience about their life, I would go and inspire the person. Definitely. I would be like, okay, you know what? Things can be done this way. I would give my insight on it, and I'd try to make them feel better, which sometimes I don't necessarily have to do. Like, literally today I had to do it for somebody, and then she was almost crying to me, and I was like, you know what? And then she thought I was laughing at her. I wasn't doing anything, to be honest. I was just, like, listening to her conversation, but somebody else was laughing in the background. And she thought I was laughing at her. And then she's like, oh, that's not something to be laughed about. I'm like, no, I'm not laughing about it. And then I tried to make her feel better about it. And then after that, she's like, oh, okay, thank you for listening to me. So people do really come and open up to me to some extent. I see that a lot. Like, I would have a conversation with somebody. They would come open up about some of the things that they probably would not open up about. And then they would be like, oh, you know what? I've never actually shared this with anyone before. So I feel like I try to make people give that safe space for them to open up to me and then inspire them after. It makes me feel good, actually. Not that it does anything to me, but it makes me feel better.
Oh, it's like a, what's that word? Like, let me know if I'm using it. Is it like a catharsis kind of way? Okay.
Is it? That's why I feel like I should go to a TED Talk. This has been my dream, to go to a TED Talk.
Well, we already know you'll have one heckler.
But yeah, I would like to go inspire people. If
Wait, what are you talking about? Mirrorless?
Oh, two hecklers, sorry.
Okay, sorry.
So yeah, if I could do something, I would say if I were to be somebody, like if I were to change my profession, I would become a psychiatrist, actually. I can listen to people for hours and hours and hours and give my insight. And
I feel like as a commander, you just enjoy breaking them down mentally or something. I don't know. I think you'd have fun doing that.
No, not necessarily. Yeah, I would break somebody down, break him like really bad if that comes to that point. Yeah, I tend to pick fights. Not intentionally, but when people come up to me with fights, I'm not the person who would be like, oh, you know what? Let's leave it like this. Oh, okay, let's do this for you. Let's do that. No. I'm not people pleaser. I'm like, no, hell nah. You're not getting it this way.
Okay, stick to your job now. Don't become a psychiatrist.
No,
these people don't need that. I promise you, they don't need it.
But from a psychiatrist perspective, like, it's different. Like, you know, I'm talking about work here. Like, you know,
Yeah.
or like, you know, somebody who's deliberately trying to pick up a fight with me. They're like, oh, okay, no. This is like this is like that. I'd be like, no, I don't agree, and I don't back down. That's the thing. I don't back down. I stand up and high. And then I go from there. And then at one point, either they would shut down, either I would shut down. Most of the time, I don't. And most of the time, there would be a third party needed to shut us both down. So that's what happens.
Okay.
But, like, yeah, again, in terms of inspiring, that would be completely different, because I would have all these aside for me to just open about their feelings and then, you know, inspire, make them feel better. Yeah. What's wrong with that? Let's make the world a better place for one day.
Cool.
Yeah. So these are all my strengths, I would say. Weaknesses, I'll come to that later.
Okay. Do you want? Actually, I think you should go for it now, because I think we should just kind of keep it linear there.
Sure, Liz, call me out.
Well, Liz is waiting. Let's do it.
Commander weaknesses: stubborn and dominant. I said that before. I'm dominant. Sometimes all this confidence and willpower can go too far, and commanders are all too capable of digging in their heels, trying to win every single debate and pushing their vision and theirs alone. What do you guys feel about that, knowing me all this far?
Oh, I haven't had anything that you really needed to push, but I feel... Oh, no, I kind of see that, because I feel like sometimes when we did the first episode, you were asking a lot of questions that were trying to push your narrative sometimes.
Push my narratives?
Especially with when Nihal's opinions on can girls and guys be friends, you were definitely asking questions that were pushing your narrative. And I will say they weren't necessarily open-ended questions. They were definitely questions more biased towards an answer you were looking for from him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree to that.
Yeah.
I would agree to that, because it was It was pointed like the...
It was taxing. You were getting
literally-
taxed by what Nihaal was saying. I won't lie. It was taxing your life force. I could tell.
Because we had that conversation before, and I'm like, no way, you're saying that to me right now. I went into the fight mode. Yeah, I did that.
Yeah, you're mad.
I'm mad.
Yeah.
Okay, another one is intolerant. It's my way or the highway.
Yeah,
I said
you
that.
said it so already.
I said that, yeah. I tend to behave like that most of the time. I wouldn't say sometimes. Impatient. Okay, this is probably the worst weaknesses that I have. I'm super impatient. Like, impatient as in, if I had to get something done, I need it done now and now, right now. Now means now for me. If I want to go somewhere, now means now. There is no getting back to it later.
No, now means yesterday to you.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you were to emphasize on that way. Yeah, now means
we
yesterday.
definitely couldn't work together.
Really?
Yeah, no, definitely could not work together. When I need something done, I'm getting it done on my time.
Well, that depends, like, well,
No,
being in
general,
my team...
I think. Well, we'll get into my part of it. I just think, from your impatient perspective, you definitely could not work with me long term.
Makes sense. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I just don't see it. Like.
Yeah, but then also, like, you have people working under you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how would I and you work? Like, one of them has
Like-
to work together, because I wouldn't be
like-
leading you.
Well,
If that
here's the
makes
thing.
sense.
If I had to work with you in the capacity of, like, being under you and you expected things of me, I think you would be really frustrated with me.
Probably,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll put it that way.
But you know what? Given that how impatient I am, I do give some grace period of people to work. I would say that. Yeah, one of my colleagues, I do give him a lot of time.
Yeah.
He tests my patience way too much, and I don't know. Maybe I'm working on that because of him at work. But sometimes I can't take it. I'm like, oh no, I need it done. I need it done right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the worst one, I would say. That's my worst weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody's looking into my weaknesses right now, yeah, don't make me impatient.
Yeah, that's the takeaway from that. Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
takeaway.
Don't make her impatient. Yeah, that's the
Exactly.
takeaway.
That
Not
would
work
not
on your
be-
impatience. Don't make her impatient. Okay, next
Yeah.
one.
Arrogant. I don't know. I don't agree with that. I'm not arrogant. Commander personalities respect quick thoughts and firm convictions, their own qualities, and look down on those who don't match up. I don't look down. Okay, sometimes I do disagree. That's true. But it's not like I would look down on somebody just because theirs and my ideas do not match. But again, my dominant power would probably take over for me to kind of impose mine on them, which I don't know if it's going to be considered as an arrogant personality based on that.
Right.
I don't
Okay,
know.
fair.
Yeah. Poor handling of emotions.
Yeah or not? Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's read it. People with this personality type often trample others' feelings, inadvertently hurting their partners and friends, especially in emotionally charged situation. I don't remember if I've ever hurt anybody emotionally that way. I don't know why.
Why did you chuckle at me?
Why did you look at I saw the icon beeline directly for Nihaal. That was
I know.
crazy.
I was just trying to read his expression. I was like, okay,
No.
what does he think about that? Because he
Mhm.
would say it out loud. No, you hurt me.
Nah, I've had much worse heartbreaks.
Okay, so I didn't hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't hurt anybody. Not that I know of. If
Yeah.
I do, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about it. Cold and ruthless, their obsession with efficiency and unwavering belief in the merits of rationalism, especially professionally, makes commanders incredibly insensitive in pursuing their goals, dismissing personal circumstances, sensitivities, and preferences as irrational and irrelevant. Oh my god, I do that so
We definitely
much.
could not work together.
I do that. No, not in terms of just work. Like in terms of, I would say, I try to come off as somebody who's super rational. In some of the cases that I do not have to be super rational. Yeah, sometimes like a little bit of irrationality should work, which I do think is needed, but I just go extreme, super rational, and then that's it. That's my decision, and that's how I feel like I kind of like not take into a lot of those opportunities that I should have,
Mm-hmm.
being super rational about it. Whereas I could go and approach those with a more irrational point of view and then see what's there for it to offer, which, has happened quite a bit. Has happened recently, which was shared off camera, but okay. Okay.
Well,
yeah, so that's pretty much it. Yeah, whoever knows me, don't try and hurt me with those weaknesses. That's not gonna be good because of my commander personality. Being super dominant and leader, no. And fighting all the time. Okay. Go ahead, Daniel.
My bad. No, I'm just definitely taking away that, like, just, I'm still fixated on it, but we definitely could not. I promise you we could not work together.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I'm going to skip me, but I actually want to go to Nihaal next.
Skip you. Didn't you already do you? Make sure, man.
I can't do myself. That's not biologically possible.
No.
Here, I just want to know strengths and weaknesses.
We haven't done yours yet?
No,
I thought we did.
I don't think we did, man.
No. We didn't strength.
Strengths. Strong practical skills. Consoles are excellent managers, day-to-day tasks, and routine maintenance.
Clean your car, clean your room.
Enjoy making sure that those who are close to them are well cared for.
Who's that, by the way?
I'm excellent at managers, huh?
That's yours, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, I'm an excellent manager, but I wouldn't say, like, when it comes to the chore side, I leave my laundry for like 3 weeks, stuff like that.
Can I add one thing that I slightly disagree with, and it's not to call you out, but I feel like...
Not to call you out. Completely calls you out.
I'm totally calling you out, but I don't mean to do it in a bad way. Making sure that those who are close to them are well cared for. I do believe that you do that to an extent, but I feel like sometimes when it's with people close to you, or just because of how wide of a circle that you have, sometimes you can double book yourself, triple book yourself, quadruple book yourself.
I do.
Yeah, so that's just something where...
Sure.
Yeah.
I can't really focus.
Okay.
I average 5 FaceTime calls a day with 5 different people.
Wow.
Yeah. It's kind of fucked up.
I could never.
I know. Anyways, people will...
So, you didn't read the...
Oh, sorry. Strong sense of duty. People with console personality type have a strong sense of responsibility and strive to meet their obligations, though this may sometimes be from more of a sense of social expectations than injury. That's kind of true. Especially when it comes to the volleyball stuff. I feel like I have a lot of expectations now. It's like Nihaal should do this, Nihaal should do that, and I don't know.
I'm going to add to that too. I feel like you have a lot of expectations of other people too because of that.
Yeah.
And like, fair or unfair, I feel like that's just something that you've developed from being that way.
Yeah. Very loyal. I disagree with this one. I don't think I'm loyal. I am not a loyal person.
Cheater.
Oh my
What do you mean by
god.
What do you mean by... Read it first and we'll see.
Let's read it though. Valuing stability and security very highly. Consuls are eager to preserve their status quo, which makes them extremely loyal and trustworthy partners and employees. Okay, I guess from that perspective, yeah. Consuls are true pillars of any groups they belong to, whether it's their family or a community club. People with this personality type can be relied upon. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, I guess that makes
definitely
sense,
makes sense.
No, the only thing I was thinking of is I'm not really loyal to... Like, I feel like I've met people, or I've met friends, where they're just like, oh, you should be... When we go to a party and stuff, you should be hanging out with me the entire time. I can't. Like, I'm not... I'm like,
I don't think you'd associate. I don't think you should associate that with loyalty. Though.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean,
think it's a little...
they see it like that sometimes.
But are you loyal as a partner, as a friend?
I have never cheated. I do not wish cheating upon anybody. We talked about this in a previous episode. It is the worst thing mentally. And, yeah, I do not wish that upon anybody. Yeah. Don't cheat. Don't cheat. Okay. Sensitive and warm. Oh. Just like how I was sensitive and warm just now. Helping to ensure that stability. Consuls' personalities seek harmony and care deeply about other people's feelings, being careful not to offend or hurt anybody. Nah, fuck Daniel, bro. I always defend this guy. But who cares?
It goes both ways.
Yeah. Consuls are strong team players, and win-win situations are the stuff smiles are made of. Yeah, I try looking for win-win situations. I'm not necessarily... I want everyone to be happy for the most part. I still haven't won any of my leagues or tournaments that I've hosted, except for like before YRB.
Yeah.
But yeah, and YRB I still haven't won anything. I know I suck. No, I just want other people to. I purposely put bad players on my team. No, I'm joking. Everyone on my team is just like, what the fuck's wrong with you, bro?
Calling them out one by one.
No, I am the bad player. Okay, so good at connecting with others. These qualities come together that makes console social, comfortable, and well liked. Console personalities have a strong need to belong and have no problem with small talk or following social cues in order to make them an active role in communities. I love small talk. I think Liz talked about this in the last episode, but I just love small talk, just talking to random people. Even at the Queen concert that I went to, I was just talking to like random people. I closed the door just to smile. I love talking to elderly people. They're amazing because they want to talk to people all the time too. Well, for the most part. And yeah, just greet them with a smile, say a compliment. You never know where it goes. Oh, nice bag. Oh, you know, like something like that. And then, yeah, nice eyebrows. Something like that. But yeah. Console weaknesses. Oh my fucking lord. Yes. I'm gonna cry. I don't want to read this. Can we not read this?
No.
I'll read
we
it.
gotta know.
The first one's very scary.
You want me to read it then?
Worried about their social status. Okay. You can cough. We'll What? What are you laughing about?
I feel like that's your kryptonite.
I know.
Yeah.
Fuck. I hate my weaknesses.
I thought you were gonna cry for one
Can
second.
I like drink more? Is there more liquor?
Saying it out.
Yeah, so
I'm actually,
Own it,
I'm
Nihal.
actually gonna cry. Like I feel the tears coming. That's just.
I saw his eyes getting off.
it's okay. You can make it through. Come on.
That's okay. Bring it out.
Okay. Worried about their social status. These strengths are related to chief weakness. Consoles' preoccupation with social status and influence, which affects many decisions they make, potentially limiting their creativity and open-mindedness. I could see that with me. I mean, growing up, like, backstory, whatever, growing up, I didn't have too many friends, so a lot of, like, what I'm doing these days, too, and why I say yes to a lot of opportunities is to kind of go back to that, too. I've only had, I wouldn't even say, like, especially, like, grade 5, 6, it was a very, like, lonely time. I remember times where, like, you know, like, I used to have lunch with, like, the lunch lady because I had no friends, right? So, long way to go after that. Grade 7, I started talking to people again, and then, you know, grade 8, and then high school, I talked to everybody, and then now, I have too many people to talk to.
Can I add something onto that too? I feel like it's not just necessarily the friendship aspect of it. I feel like growing up from your background of like, let's put it this way, you're Indian, right?
Yeah.
There's a status quo and a social culture from
Exactly.
that there's an expectation too, right? So
Yeah.
that can be something that, not necessarily that social status, but in the same way of thinking that applies to other things. For
No,
you as
100%,
well.
yeah. So, even in the community, like our family friend community, I'm one of the older kids. So it's just like I've always had to have this social status and influence. Like I had to get a full-time job or work from home job. You know, stuff like that. Like all our stuff. Go to school. I don't know.
It's also cost us a few clips.
What?
No. It's okay, I'm kidding.
Inflexible. Consoles place a lot of importance on what is socially acceptable and can be very cautious, even critical, of anything unconventional or outside the mainstream. People with this personality type may also sometimes push their own beliefs too hard in an effort to establish them as mainstream. If that doesn't describe Nihaal, I don't know what does. So, Daniel's just agreeing because we've had arguments about this in the past. Okay, it's okay.
It's okay. We're good.
It's okay.
We're good.
Reluctant to innovate or improvise. That's true. Just as they can be critical of others' unusual behavior, consoles may be unwilling to step out of their own comfort zones, usually a fear of being different.
There's a yes and no to that.
Okay, sorry. Yeah,
go ahead.
big example. I keep bringing volleyball, but volleyball's my fucking life right now. But there was supposed to be 9 teams at a tournament. I have a bracket. Every tournament, same structure. 9 teams, bracket, this, that. It ends at 3 p.m. It works. Don't fix what ain't broke. And then my freaking co-organizer, I love you, dude, but this guy miscounted, and then 10 teams came. And then the morning of 5 minutes before the tournament started, I had to change the entire bracket, and that was the most anxious shit of my life, bro. I actually wanted to just cancel the tournament just because of how anxious I was. But I mean, we made it work. But that's why I work well with him, because he's a little bit more calming, and I'm like, yo, I'm not improvising. This is the way.
Yeah, it's not that serious.
Even one point, I even talked to the 10th team. I'm like, yo, we miscounted. Can you guys go home? They're like, no, why the fuck would I go home? I paid. This, that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Vulnerable to criticism. Oh my fucking god.
It's really hitting home for him.
Can't do this. It can be especially challenging to change these tendencies because consoles are so conflict adverse. Console personalities can become very defensive and hurt if someone, especially a person close to them, criticizes their habits, beliefs, or traditions. It's so true that I'm so vulnerable to criticism. I cannot. You can't tell me. If you tell me the podcast is shit, I'll actually, bro, like, not be angry, but I'd just be sad and like cry in a corner, I think, or either or just scream at you back. Be like, yo,
so
at least I start up.
So I won't show you the hate comments if you ever get any. Okay.
No, you could show it. No, actually, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll definitely be mad. But yeah, at least I started fucking.
No, you know what? You want to know what I remember? One of the criticisms that we got. Remember that first episode that we did that we were like definitely like one of those very early episodes that you got really like criticized on, like privately.
Oh, with another person.
You're another person, yeah.
The female.
Yeah, I remember that really getting to your head for a little bit.
Yeah. Stuff like that. Often too needy. Sorry, I'm taking so much time. I'm trying to speed this up. Consoles need to hear and see a great deal of appreciation. That is very true. I need people to be like, yo, you're amazing. Yo,
that's your love.
Nihaal, yeah, you're doing good. All these efforts. If their efforts go unnoticed.
Nihaal, your dick is so big.
Oh my god, this is facts. Efforts.
That's what he needs to hear.
Exactly.
Sorry, I had to catch you off guard on that.
Okay.
Nihaal, you make me feel like how nobody else ever made me feel. Something like that. Okay, so
cringe, but okay.
This is my co-host.
To be fair, I have heard those words in that sentence before. Okay, so if their efforts go. Okay, stop. Okay, I'm done. If their efforts go unnoticed, people with console personality type may start fishing for compliments in an attempt to get reassurance of how much they are valued. Yeah. Often too needy. I need to screenshot that tattoo on my chest because it's true. Too selfless. Okay, this is very true as well. The other side of this is that consoles sometimes try to establish a value with dotting attention, something that can quickly overwhelm those who don't need it, making it ultimately unwelcome. Furthermore, consoles often neglect their own needs in the process.
I don't think you neglect your own needs.
Yeah.
I think
often too needy is so fucking.
I will say this though. There was a time where your form of affection, like you FaceTime call a lot, right? I will say in the early stages I was getting really close. That kind of caught me off guard a lot. And it's more just because like like my way of like talking to people is always just text or like we're online playing games or just over that or in person. You FaceTime calling me just randomly at night when I'm just like. Whoa. What the fuck? Like, that's crazy. But I think that's also something that's been pretty cool, though. It's for me, because it's taught me to, I can have somebody also I can FaceTime just equally if I ever really need it.
Okay, so home stretch.
Home stretch.
Sorry, it's almost 2 hours, but it's okay.
It's okay. It's been good content. I've loved this so far. It's been really fun.
Yeah, I almost actually cried.
I can't believe that. That's crazy.
Don't cry.
All right, we're going on to my strengths and weaknesses as a virtuoso. So, as a virtuoso, I am optimistic and energetic. Virtuosos are usually up to their elbows in some project or other.
Wait, the strengths. Oh, the strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
There's our strengths.
Wants to hear the weaknesses first,
I know. Fuck, man.
Almost
Who cares
cried
about your strengths?
on his.
Okay,
I care about my strengths. I don't care if you don't care.
Damn. You criticized me, and now I'm gonna kill myself.
Well, I took the knife away, so we're fine.
Okay, I guess
you have to get creative with that. I don't know if you can be, but.
Bang my head on your head.
What's it called? Virtuosos are usually up to their elbows in some project or other. Cheerful and good-natured. People with the virtuoso personality type, especially assertive ones, rarely get stressed out, preferring to go with the flow. I don't know how I feel like me reading the strengths, I might doubt myself a little. Just because I don't feel like I rarely get stressed out. I get stressed out a lot. I actually get stressed. That's more me projecting work, but I feel like I get stressed out more than this projects itself as. I feel like it is right though. I am up to something all the time. I'm doing something. Like you can ask me, like 1 week I'll be doing something for like photography. One other thing I'll be like working on editing on the podcast or something like that. Or other thing I'll be fucking going to the beach or some shit like that. I'm always doing something different. I do like to go with the flow for some things. I don't know if that alludes again to the previous percentages where it's very close. Some things I like to go with the flow. Some things I like to have some organization in it. I feel like it can be pretty dynamic there. Creative and practical. Virtuosos are very imaginative when it comes to practical things, mechanics, and crafts. Novel ideas come easily, and they love using their hands to put them into action. That I can agree with. I feel like I'm pretty good with my hands. I feel like I can build anything pretty easily, or even with a little mistake here or there. I'm not going to forget that mistake, and I'll know how to do it from there. I feel like something like, for example, I built my own fucking computer. I've built furniture before pretty easily. I like doing that kind of stuff. Even I guess like yard work, all that stuff. I'm pretty decent at it, I could say. Making things kind of happen with my hands is pretty fun. Spontaneous and rational. Combining spontaneity with logic, virtuosos can switch mindsets to fit new situations with little effort, making them flexible and versatile individuals. See, that's again, I'm kind of doubting myself here. I don't know. I feel like I am spontaneous. I feel like sometimes I am rational. I don't know. I feel like spontaneous, I don't think I'm fully spontaneous, where I'll just hop on a whim all the time. I feel like there's a bit of mix of spontaneity with organization.
I think you organize a lot, especially like your trips, your San Francisco trips and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like the spontaneity of that is like the decisiveness of it. I'll choose to do these things in the moment or once I see it. Like I'll grab onto that for sure. Thanks. I don't know. You're contemplating this. I don't know. Every time I look at there, it's like what is she thinking?
You're not a homebody. You are spontaneous. It's not so much like it's the spontaneity of planning. It's like you're rational, so you make good decisions, but you make spontaneous decisions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I need to get some reinforcement there. Know how to prioritize. This flexibility comes with some unpredictability, but virtuoso personalities are able to store their spontaneity for a rainy day, releasing their energy when it's needed most. That makes sense. I think that's where that kind of comes into play now, where I was kind of doubting that. I feel like certain areas I'll be spontaneous, and I know when it's the right time to do that. Having my priorities, I feel like not necessarily on a full scale I have my priorities straight. I mean, that's why it took me 6 years to get through my first degree. But I think that's one of those things where, in the moment I can really know how to prioritize either what I want to do or what's probably the right thing to do. Sometimes that's different on the day or the decision that needs to be made. Great in a crisis. With all this hands-on creativity and spontaneity, it's no wonder that virtuosos are naturals in crisis situations. People with this personality type usually enjoy a little physical risk, and they aren't afraid to get their hands dirty when the situation calls for it. See, I don't know. I don't feel like recently I've been challenged into a crisis, in a sense, like a really big crisis. I feel like I am definitely not afraid to get my hands dirty for this certain situation. I really do like having physical risk. I feel like a lot of that is owed to even just thinking about our New Brunswick trip. We did a lot of like active stuff there, and there's a lot of times where I feel like some shit could have gone wrong, whether it's on a hike.
The cliff? Oh my god.
The cliff, the water, the hike in the waterfall. I remember that because to you and Shane, you're pretty hesitant on scaling that area. Yeah. I'm like, yo, balls deep, balls to the wall, doing it raw dogging that shit. Like, I'm down for it. But yeah, I feel like our footprints are still there because no one would ever go down there. Yeah, not a lot of people went down there. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like in a crisis, I don't know if I've ever been challenged enough recently to be put into a crisis where I can really think like that. I think small crises, maybe I can make a pretty good decision here or there, or just think of it as like, oh, this might be the right thing to do, or I can probably fix this myself kind of thing. I think that I definitely approach it with when there's a crisis. I think my best decision is probably going to be to do it myself, because I feel like fixing that, it's better off me doing this the way I think is right than somebody else doing it and fucking it up, I guess. Relaxed. Through all this, virtuosos are able to stay quite relaxed. They live in the moment and go with the flow, refusing to worry too much about the future. I feel like that part of this is true. Like, I mean, the relaxed part, I wouldn't say I'm fully relaxed. I feel like there's times where I can be tense or stressed with myself. But in the part where it's like living with the moment, go with the flow, I definitely feel like there's a lot of points where I go with the flow. I kind of see what interests me on certain days, or what I'm really feeling to do, base what I do on a day. I definitely don't worry too much about the future. Hence, once again, the 6 years of fucking school. Hence, going back to school again.
Can I make an assumption here, though?
Do it.
Because I feel like you show that you're super, like, chill about everything sometimes, even when you're not.
So do you think, do you think I just, like, show that, like, I project that I'm chill even though I'm not?
Sometimes. I mean, I've only seen you so many times.
Yeah, fair enough.
I feel like at the cottage, I kind of felt like, there were some of the days when you were stressed, super stressed. I could feel it, but then I didn't want to project my idea or, like,
When I didn't do the dishes?
No, not just... Yeah, I mean, of course, duh. You didn't do the dishes.
was it more the was it like cleanup, would you say?
No, not just the cleanup. It's more of like, you were stressed in the sense like, you were mostly taking charge of everything where everybody should have kind of, take some charge into some of the things.
Yeah.
And then I kind of came up to you a couple of times, if you don't know, like,
I
if you
that.
remember. I was like, Daniel, are you okay? Do you need any help? But then I didn't want to, like, go and be like, oh, okay, are you stressed? Are you relaxed? Are you whatnot?
That's a good point because, I do like to... That's the thing. I do stress myself up because I kind of like to do things myself. I kind of have to have that... I like that... The best way to do it is my way kind of thing. Or, like, not best way to do it is my way. It's like, I'm going to figure this out in the way that I do it because it's the way I know how to do it. And I don't think I'll need that help because I know how to do it. I don't know. Maybe.
But do you think, like, it does make you stressed, but you just don't want others to know about it, right?
I don't know if I want others to know about it. I think in a different way, I think I don't want to burden people with that.
Okay.
Like, in a sense of, like, I don't, like, I could, like, why do you have to do it when I can just do it myself? Kind of thing. I don't think, like, you don't have to go out of your way. I'll just do it.
Okay.
That's something, sometimes where I feel like that's where it is.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because I was thinking that, when I was at the cottage, I saw you a couple of times and I was like, should I tell you this? Maybe not. Maybe you just want to be by yourself. That's okay. I didn't want to invade your personal space.
If you want to, you can. I'm like, if you want to talk to me about it, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like when people want to talk to me about that, I'm very supportive of people just being upfront with me about those things. Just, I might not always have the best reaction. I just rather people still be upfront regardless of how I react.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay, weaknesses. Weaknesses.
Okay.
Weaknesses.
I've been taking too many shots. Now it's time for me to get shut up.
You're stubborn as fuck. That's what you are.
First one is stubborn.
Yeah.
You think I'm stubborn?
Yeah.
Why do you think I'm stubborn? Give me an example.
You're not paying for my spike bucket.
Oh, he's still stuck on that.
I will say I am stubborn. Okay, I'll go back to one moment where I think I could be stubborn. Where when I was talking about the clips earlier, you didn't really want something to be uploaded. And I just really try to push my narrative onto you because I'm just like, okay, this is why you're wrong about this. It's like, nobody's going to see. This isn't going to blow over. One, you can't prove anything that you're doing anything wrong with this. I was really trying to push that because I thought I was right. So I definitely think that was something that I can be stubborn with. If I think I'm right, I'll definitely push that point unless somebody can prove me wrong. So yeah, that's definitely something I fight with my mom about all the time. If I'm stubborn, because I she'll tell me a few things and I'm like, no, that's wrong and kind of dumb. Like I'll be like that. Like I'll definitely push my point to that, and I definitely feel like that's where not necessarily cold. I feel like that's where I misrelated like rationality. I definitely think that comes off a bit more cold, where I disregard somebody's feelings to push my own narrative. I think that's not rationality, but that is definitely stubborn.
Yeah.
And leads on to the next part of being insensitive. Virtuosos use logic, and even when they try to meet others halfway with empathy and emotional sensitivity, it rarely seems to come out right, if anything is even said at all. I feel like insensitivity for me is more going back to the stubbornness. I'll push my point if I feel like I'm right. Like, if I feel really strongly about being right, like fuck you. Like, and that's more, like, that's definitely with you, if I'm fixated on that, but I also feel like that's definitely applied to me in different places where if I'm really passionate about what was something something recently, I feel like sometimes that can apply to me at work, because if I feel like me working at a place for a long time, I feel like I'll know a lot of things, right? And I feel like if somebody tries to tell me something different, I'm like, nah, like that's just no, like, and I'll correct you to the point where it's like, okay, like this is why you're wrong. And then otherwise, like, I definitely think with insensitivity, sometimes it can go towards family too. I feel like, in the sense of, I come from an immigrant family, and they definitely have a traditional background and stuff like that. And I feel like when those things are wrong, I don't really give a fuck what you think, and I will try to say how that's wrong. I don't really care. Like, it can come across as like disrespectful, but I sometimes just don't really have a problem with doing that. But it's then again, sometimes I don't think I'm also insensitive when it's to my friends. To my friends, I feel like I take a lot of, because I'm an only child. I don't feel like I'm necessarily as close to my family as some people would be, or have the sense of respect that some people do towards their family. I guess for me, it's more, I'm not as insensitive to my friends. I feel like I consider things more. I guess I take in their opinions more. I try to be a bit more respectful of my responses, unless it gets really, really heated. Because I feel like, even then, when you, like, sometimes you tell me something, and I feel like I don't think it's right, I'll be like, hey, why don't we look at it from this kind of thing? What if it's this way, right?
Yeah.
Rather than if I am being insensitive, it's just like, nah, that's wrong because of this, so-and-so. Next thing, private and reserved. Virtuoso personalities are notoriously difficult to get to know. They are true introverts, keeping their personal matters to themselves, and often prefer silence to small talk. I wouldn't say I'm completely private and reserved. I think there's a lot of things I tell people, but there's a lot of things I don't tell people. I feel like there's the things that I choose not to tell to people. There are only a few select people that I choose to talk to about that, especially certain personal matters. I feel like it's really hard for me to not necessarily open up about that, because I can make jokes about that. Like all of you do know, maybe you not to the extent, but I do make and sometimes it can be really weird jokes about my dad passing away, and I feel like. Yeah, Liz is smiling right now. She can be like, well, sometimes, because a lot of people, even Nihaal, would just go, what the fuck is that? But I think
Hops out of nowhere, too.
Yeah, it really does. I feel like what I don't open up about is what actually happened in the moment of those things. Like, going through the time of my dad passing, I don't really open up on that. Like, how I actually felt, or, analyzing those things to people. I don't really talk about that. So I guess that's where it could come from. But in terms of silence to small talk, with my closest friends, I do prefer sometimes, if we're in a car ride or just chilling, we don't have to talk. I sometimes I do enjoy small talk, but I do enjoy more in-depth talks with you guys. I think that it's more fun to listen to what's really, really going on with y'all, or what you really, really think about certain things, rather than just this is just what's going on in my day-to-day life. That's why if somebody asks me how my day is going, it's like, oh, same old. I don't really know what to really in-depth talk about unless something really interesting happened and we can talk about that. Easily bored. Virtuosos enjoy novelty, which makes them excellent tinkerers, but much less reliable when it comes to focusing on things long term. Once something is understood, virtuosos tend to simply move on to something new and more interesting. Yeah, if I'm doing something the same thing over and over again, this is where I get really. If you slowly see me doing the same thing over and over again, you'll start to slowly see me get more irritated week by week. So if I'm stuck in the same place doing the same thing over and over again, like the same task or the same thing, I'm gonna be pissed off by the end of it. I'm gonna see all the I'll see it for the flaws that it has, or I'll see it for fuck, man, there's nothing different about this kind of thing, and it won't even portray as anger towards what I'm doing. I just get irritated more in general, I guess. So that's what makes me easily bored of things. And once again, 6 years of school, so wasted too much money on that because I was bored. But yeah, I feel like that's dislike commitment. All right, hold up. That's not. I don't think I dislike commitments. I think I'm choosy with my commitment. But let me read this. Long-term commitments are particularly onerous for virtuosos. They prefer to take things day by day, and the feeling of being locked into something for a long time is downright oppressive. This can be a particular challenge in virtuosos' romantic relationships. Okay, hold up. So, I've been in I don't know if you can qualify. Would you qualify 9 months as a long-term relationship?
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Okay. So
anything more than 3 months, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, I feel I feel like as a boyfriend and girlfriend type of thing, 9 months. I would say that it's not the longest in comparison to some people, but I think that I would like to be committed to somebody. I think I'm just very choosy on who I want to be committed to, because I feel like I don't dislike commitment. I just want the commitment to be something that's worth my time, and not to dismiss somebody on that. I just think, why would I want to be committed to something that's I'm either gonna half-ass, or something that I'm just not gonna be feeling by the end of it. If I could that's why I feel like right now I've said this a lot before. I really do enjoy being single, because I don't feel like I want to go through the energy of trying to find a long-term commitment like that. It's just effort for something that doesn't feel like it's gonna you're not gonna seek what you're looking for just by doing that, by actively seeking for it with that kind of commitment. I think other certain type of commitments. What's a different kind of commitment that you think that I could dislike? I don't know. Lizzie, you know me again. I'm calling you back in. What do you think is a long-term commitment you think I dislike?
That's the problem. I don't see where this commitment thing is coming in from.
Yeah, because
even with relationships, if you did find the right person, you wouldn't have trouble.
I'd simp. I'd straight simp.
Yeah.
I think, that's the thing, finding the right thing to commit to. School. Once again, that was a really tough, I would say 6 years is a long time, but I think...
I feel like commitment and decision are two different things.
But I feel like with commitment, though, in that is, like, you, like, staying committed to something, like, if I'm not interested in it, I guess I won't commit to it. Same thing with, like, that's what I'm kind of associating it with school in that sense.
But you do.
But that took me 6 years. I stuck it out, but, like, I also felt like it could have really teetered either way there for me.
Relationships that are rocky, you stick it out. Jobs that are rocky, you stick it out. Maybe you stuck that out.
Fair, yeah. That's true. Yeah, now that you put it that way, I don't know. I feel like, I think I'm not necessarily disliking commitment. I feel like I'm just choosy with it. Yeah, I think that's a better way to put it. Risky behavior. This stubbornness, difficulty with others' emotions, focus on the moment, and easy boredom can lead to unnecessary and unhelpful boundary pushing. Yeah.
Double jointed.
I feel like, I don't know, that I think I associate let me continue. Virtuosos have been known to escalate conflict and danger just to see where it goes. Something that can have disastrous consequences for everyone around them if they lose control of the situation. I don't feel like that's necessarily like large scale. I feel like I like to poke fun, but I like to make like jokes that can be insensitive. 9/11. I feel like that's...
Oh yeah, you do that all the time.
All the time, man. It's a smashing success, but like... I don't know. I just feel like it can come across as insensitive to people, but... I don't know. That I just can't see myself like not being that way, you know? I have so much fun with it that even if like... I don't really care if it pushes somebody's buttons in that sense. It could be risky in that sense. The only thing I can really associate to risky behavior of like... escalating conflict. I did escalate a conflict recently where I could have just easily backed away from it. It's I was on the subway and there was a homeless person was like a crack addict. They were like mumbling to themselves and they started screaming at a guy to their left, and he was like saying that he was like 3 feet away. He was like 3 feet away from the person, right? But she was like, "You got to give me more space. I'm having a terrible day." Blah blah blah. Goes back to muttering to herself in the window. I'm like standing like maybe like because my side's a bit more packed. I'm standing like 1 foot behind her or 2 feet behind her. And she starts looking at me, like, I'm this entire time where she's yelling at him, I'm trying really hard not to laugh. But she turns around and sees me, and then she starts yelling the same thing as me, and then starts mumbling more nonsense. And in a sense, in that sense, when you're putting yourself in that danger, or not putting yourself, but you're in that danger, you should just probably back off. Like, because you don't know what they can do. Mm-hmm. Your boy just looked at her and just did this, and then went out, and that really set her off. I looked at her and gave her the thumbs up, and then just went back to looking at my phone. And then she got like really pissed and tried to push me back. And then as I was exiting the train, she actually put her hands on me, and she tried to grab me and say, "You're being really disrespectful." So I had to like shove her off at me, and it ended up into being a slight altercation. But that's one of the things where it's like, I guess it's like sometimes if risky behavior like that sometimes could really get me into some shit. Because you never know what could have happened. She could have pulled something out and just smacked me with it, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Don't recommend it. Don't do it.
I don't know. I feel like
Never.
In certain situations, I'm okay with pushing people's buttons. It's not the right decision to do, but yeah. It is what it is. But yeah. It's a lot. I think we've said this is a really long topic. I was about to say
this is probably the longest episode that we've ever had in our lives.
And we've had some really long episodes. I think we've gotten past 2 hours.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be past 2 hours for sure.
So
I think we'll cut it off here.
It is very late at night for these guys. For especially Elizabeth, she sleeps at like 9.
Yeah, Lizzie's got to get her beauty sleep.
You actually do sleep at night?
I'm in bed by 9:30.
She's got to get her beauty sleep. She got to keep her skin clear.
I usually sleep at 1:30. That's our cycle.
I sleep like anywhere between 12:30 to 4:30, sometime in that range.
That's a huge range. But okay.
Yeah.
That's
It depends.
quite a range.
It really depends. It just depends. Like it depends on a few things in my life going on. What about you?
I go to bed around 11:30 to 12, but I wake up really early, like
Okay.
4 o'clock, I would say.
Fair.
So I only get like a couple hours of sleep.
What? Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Wow. So
This
what the
is it.
takeaway from this is you love being around people, but you care what people think about you. You don't care what people think about you, and you want to lead, and you're just leading them, not disregarding their entire feelings. I disregard into people's feelings for my own personal gain.
Well,
In conclusion, just don't watch the episode. Just skip it.
Just skip to this point
This is
right
it.
here.
This is it. All right. Till then, follow us on. Oh, yeah, you said.
I get to do. Yeah, you're right. Intro's your thing. Outro's my thing. Right. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed what we talked about, this in-depth discussion of ourselves that we like. Technically, we didn't even determine this. The website and the quiz that we did determined that, the MBTI test. So we might not even be these things. Well, even though we feel we are, we might just be projecting what a website tells us. But yeah, if you enjoyed seeing us being influenced by a website, watch the podcast. Watch our other episodes. We get influenced by other things all the time, and like listen to each other. It's great. It's like what? Like accidental gaslighting kind of. I don't know, but yeah, feel free to follow us on all our socials. Follow us on YouTube. We have all of our episodes on video here. We have some things that you can see here that are not seen on Spotify. Follow us on Spotify too. We're there. All of our episodes are posted there. We are also on iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Amazon Music as well. You can see us there if those are the forms of podcasting you want to watch. Feel free to follow us on Instagram, TikTok. Watch our YouTube shorts, all at Across the Street Pod. Follow me and Nihaal on Instagram. They'll be linked down below on YouTube, and you know where to find us if you follow us on Instagram as well. Would you like to put your socials out there? You can say no on camera, and I promise you we won't care.
no.
There we go. Yeah. So
I want to be private.
there we go.
Follow
MK's.
Lizzie at AB.
Yep. At Lizzie.ab
Yeah,
on
that's it.
on Instagram.
Yes. Thank you guys for coming out.
Thank you guys for coming out.
I know
Thank
it's a
you for
long trip.
having me. It was a fun conversation. And if anybody's looking deeper into dating any one of us, watch this podcast before you even start.
This is a
dating us.
disclaimer to committing to us. Like it's rough. Like I think we're all good people.
This is the path to our hearts.
If anything, this just made us look like worse people. Even though I think you guys are really good people. So
And that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Let people judge us. That's okay.
it's okay. There'll be that one person who tolerates us.
Hell yeah.
I look forward to that.
Till then, swag 420.
Thank you guys for watching Across the Street. Just one more thing I'd like to remember, that MK chose me as her type and not Nihaal. Okay, bye guys.
Bye.